Sorry.
That's all right. My sleeping schedule is a bit out of whack.
Yeah.
It's been raining and so loud that this can't be. I hate trying to wrestle myself to sleep, so it's like I might as well just be awake.
Yeah.
Take the time to do some things that are piling up, paperwork, uh,
Mm.
doing some technological updates, research. A bit out of touch with what's on the market in terms of printers and software upgrades, and debating whether or not to um, mess around trying to upgrade systems or tinker around.
Yeah. With that male hypergamy when it comes to technology.
Yeah, I had the same feeling when I got a new car. I was like, oh, my old car might be a bit upset with me, but I think my old car would approve and be
Yeah.
like,
So, what did you think of John and I's chat? I
uh,
thought he would have asked some more serious questions. He still seemed like he was holding back. I don't do you think the guys will ever get to a point where they they don't feel apprehensive about asking something serious?
um, I don't know. Like in part, I think it might be an element where until a person's able to ask serious questions of themselves, then it's going to be hard or tricky to be asking such questions of other people.
Mm. He said
But
he's
the thing
working
is,
up to it.
like, as I said to you just before we went live, I missed a good middle chunk of the stream. I only saw the sort of beginning and joined in again at the end.
Yeah.
So I'll have to like replay it.
Yeah.
And to hear your account is a woman talking about her mother and her family background isn't something I don't think a lot of guys are used to hearing. You know, like we said before, they normally talk about their exes or relationships they've been in.
Right.
So maybe it's a bit hard to think of questions or which direction or avenue to take it because it's kind of like a little bit like uncharted territory for
Right.
us.
Right. I
So
can see that.
we're not too sure what's like a relevant question to be asking. What would be? I thought he had good questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ask
Me
how
too.
you felt and what kind of age. Trying to get a chronological time frame established so you can kind of work out right. So you were this old and this was happening, and
Yeah.
but if he does a follow up stream, maybe some fresh new questions will, once he's had time to sort of process it, like once everyone's had time to process, maybe you could put a message out to people if they got questions. They could leave a comment for him to ask you.
Yeah. Hello, RJ. Hello, Kush. Hey, Bullets. Hey, Douglas.
Hey, everyone's here.
Yeah, except I don't know this person. Erudite extended clit dick. What? Sounds like it's from the petting zoo culture. Did you come from the petting zoo, Erudite? Yeah, the mother relationship. Yeah, well, I don't think a lot of people, in our society will, because a mother is supposed to be revered, right? We have a
When
lot of
when John was
respect for motherhood,
yeah
but go ahead.
when John was saying that towards the end, like we don't expect we're kind of gobsmacked. We're in disbelief that women are capable of doing
Yeah.
such horrendous acts.
Yeah.
I mean, this is denial. We don't want to believe,
Yeah.
but you know, but luckily for like men of our sort of caliber and knowledge, and like looking into it, trying to do it with honesty, as
Yeah.
much as we might not like to believe it, we now know it's true. Deep in our hearts,
Right.
we've always known it's true, but we didn't want to
Right.
believe it, like John was saying,
Yeah.
because it's like confronting the horror. And if you're, particularly if you're like a boy, you're growing up, you're dependent on mother's love, to think that the person you should love, who should look out for you, who should protect you,
Yeah.
is so despicable.
Right. Yeah. See, and I could not imagine how that same situation would be if I was a boy, like to have such a tumultuous relationship with your mother, I feel like would kind of fuck you up for the rest of your life with relationships with the opposite sex. Like, I don't know what that would have been like and I know, like, I have a good idea. I've seen some things happen with like my brothers and other people that I knew, that boys that had like similar, I guess, relationships with their mother, and they didn't turn out super well long term. That's why these feminists being man hating and trying to turn their fucking boys into girls and all that kind of shit really bothers me, because I don't think a feminist is capable of being a good mother to a daughter or a son.
No, I don't think so either. But here's a shipwreck that
Right.
could possibly happen in the future, because, like you said, there may have been, or there are, some boys who, they've cut ties with their mother. They don't like their mother and things like that, and
Right.
they've gone their own way. Fine.
Right.
I suspect that is on, not to sound demeaning, but on a somewhat superficial level, because they don't have the nuances of insight that we like to analyze and go through. So if they
Right.
had i.e. like the red pill awareness, instead of just being pissed off with their mother, they'll probably be outraged,
Right.
absolutely outraged.
Yeah.
It's bad enough that they're already they're disgruntled, and they're disappointed, and they've been hurt and traumatized on that sort of level, that they don't know the ins and outs, the nuts and bolts, but they know this is not healthy, and they need to go their own way, and they feel much more relieved and relaxed and happier, but they can't explain it or articulate it very well. But if they had the red pill lingo and terminology and understanding and depth of knowledge, and really knew the nuts and bolts of what was going on, then
Right.
they would be flipping out.
Right. Right. Then it's like, how much responsibility should one take for bringing awareness to such things? It's like, do you think a lot of these guys just prefer to be in denial to such things? Sorry.
Sometimes it can be, denial is a form of protection.
Right.
Sometimes it can be helpful. So yeah, like if these young men were red pill aware and they were completely outraged, it could actually be very bad for them.
Right.
So sometimes you just need to know enough. You don't need to know everything in order
Right.
to have a good life and do what's best for yourself.
Yeah.
So it's a bit on an individual case by case basis, I suspect.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't need to know exactly why someone is being abusive to you. All you need to really know is that they're being abusive and you need to go.
Yeah, you need to cut off all contact. You can't negotiate with terrorists.
Because the examination of wanting to figure it out, wanting to know everything, and all
Right.
this is delaying your life.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I know Richard Grannon talks about the whole, like, he said he was stuck forever, like, oh, is this NPD or is it not NPD? And okay, like, if it is, what does that mean for you? And if it's not, what does that mean for you? I think a lot of people are hoping people will change, and maybe
There
they're
needs
hoping things will get better or something.
there need these discussions we have and channels like this where we like to talk red pill and whatever philosophy and like the principles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There needs to be more reason to be doing it than just discussing it. Otherwise we're dedicating our lives and wasting our time just to ruminate and think
Right.
of other people besides ourselves. So we're not living our life.
Right.
So there needs to be some other gain on top of just discussing this
Yeah.
to give us reasons for actually doing it.
Yeah, John asked me like what my plans are for my channel and all this shit, and I'm like, I don't even really like doing any of this online stuff. I mean, I enjoy the conversations, but I think going into this, I kind of had more of a shorter term goal in mind as far as trying to wake everybody up on, trying to focus on the fundamental problem instead of, all these groups and their hyper focus on a symptom that's way over here, and like an effect that feminism has caused. But I don't know. I don't know if that's even. I don't even think enough people want to be awake. It seems like a lot of people prefer to be stuck in their little space with their little puzzle piece, waving it in the air, saying it's the fucking most important. Like,
Oh yeah, like this is my shiny
yeah,
possession, you know.
yeah,
The frog princess with her golden ball. So it's what makes her feel special and unique and
right,
belongs to her. So yeah,
right,
you do have an element of that, and like it or not, as much as we want to be critically minded and think, like red pill is awareness, because
right,
of the way humans are constructed, we all have a slice of reality. We don't see all of reality.
right,
If you did, you wouldn't be able to. You would actually die. If you knew everything in the universe, you wouldn't be able to do anything. You would become stagnant and you would die. So we need to have a blind spot, and this quirk of the human psyche is that we only see each and every one of us only see a sliver of reality, but we like to think we see all of reality.
right,
What that means? It means that as much as you think you're unplugged from the matrix, you're actually always living in a form of delusion in one sense or another.
right. Yeah, I think it's scary for a lot of people because the main piece that I wave around is actually worse and scarier than the ones they like to say are the, it's worse than they think. A lot of them. I feel like it's more insidious because it comes out of the shadows and gets them when they least expect it. Like they ignore the buildup of it, and then it's like the thing that they think happened to them didn't start with that. That was just the end result that happened to them. If that makes sense.
It's a bit like, what did they call it in a movie? Not a gimmick. It's called a. Is it called a MacGuffin? I think it's called a MacGuffin, where they have to. They're on like an adventure or a quest or something, and they must get a item in order to do the next part of the journey. MacGriffin. But let me just pick up another example. Like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, he has to get the golden ticket before he can go to the factory.
Mm-hmm.
So people are like, "I've got a golden ticket," and they wave, like you're saying, they're waving it in the air,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes them feel special. So, but this is where they lose sight, where they put all their praise or validation in the ticket instead of themselves.
Right. Mm.
Like Willy Wonka, the owner of the chocolate factory, he never got a golden ticket. He ended up owning the factory altogether.
Right.
So if everyone is chasing the golden ticket, it just shows you that it's not necessarily what's needed. You could be, instead of being Charlie, you could be Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Instead of you visiting the chocolate factory, you could be the person who owns the chocolate factory. But if you're busy chasing a golden ticket, that's not going to be you.
Right. It's like winning the lotto.
Yeah. And like chasing money and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people like to think it's kind of also the internal versus the external. So it's like looking outwards for something, money, a golden ticket, a wife, a husband,
Right.
something externally as a source of your happiness. This thing I'm chasing, a new career, a new job, hitting the jackpot, this is going to make me happy. It's like, why does that means you're chasing after happiness instead of just being content and happy with who you are. You know, like you could have someone who wins $1 million, but if their spending habit is $1 million on a weekly basis, that in ratio wise means nothing. You can have someone who earns $1,000, but their expenditure is only $10. That person who spends $10 is more wealthy than that millionaire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So not only are people outsourcing their happiness, but all that happiness that's being outsourced is in relation to things like evaluation, proportion.
Comparing it to what somebody else is doing.
Yes, as well.
Mm-hmm.
So more and more you see, like you're saying, yeah. So it's like a competitory. I wish I was so and so because so and so won $1 million. I also want to win $1 million so that I can be like them instead of being me.
Yeah.
And you can see that heavily in the PUA community because it's like, I want everyone be a PUA like me and pick up all these girls.
Right. Be a whore.
Yeah. So
be a slut, be a whore. Yeah.
Right. So it works. Yeah, both ways. It works with the girls as well. So it's always a case of be something that you're not. And that's
Right.
like a double whammy, because not only are you trying to be someone else, but you're also trying to get away from who you really are.
Mm.
And so when you don't succeed at escaping and becoming someone else, and you're stuck with who you are,
Right.
you start having even more resentment towards yourself.
Right.
And then you have the victimhood mindset, where it's like, bollocks, why am I stuck like this? It's not fair. Everyone else is doing better than me. I wish I was like them. I wish I had a fancy car and won the jackpot. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't get it.
There's a lot of evasion from just doing it doesn't have to be hard per se, but whether it's trying to escape your sense of self to be something else, or getting caught up in trivial drama, sitting in-house fighting,
Right.
it's silly. We're all getting older. Just so happens to have been my birthday recently, so
Happy birthday, by the way, everybody. This is a
give it
milestone for
away.
Billy.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me on, John. Yeah, it was good conversation. Hormaxer's Age of Consent. I feel like I know who these guys are. I hope Douglas Edwards would like to come up and weigh in.
I mean, with the kind of focus that I'm trying to take my channel in, I haven't really addressed it yet. But
right,
that point I'm making of like, really, if you're serious about trying to improve your life and build your self-esteem and have your sense of identity and all of this, that should already be like your full-time occupation at this point. You shouldn't really have any time to be gallivanting and mucking around.
right. Right.
The only reason why I'm here being able to do these streams and have these sort of conversations is the payoff from spending a lot of time doing such things. Like, especially when in 2019, when my breakup happened, that was a sit down, like close the world off period of time.
Yeah.
I had no time for friends, no time for socializing, no time to be surfing the internet, apart
Right.
from like in the diehard pursuit of finding answers.
Right.
There was no chit chatting going on. There was no time to be looking at girls. Now, as time has progressed and I've accumulated a body of experience now, I can sort of ease up in a way, and now I have available time to be doing these streams, to have these talks, to have friends now that I didn't have before, to make new friends, to have chit chats,
Yeah.
and enjoy life,
Yeah.
But if you're getting distracted if you're on this sort of self-discovery journey, you're trying to heal, trying to recover, you're trying to work out all this madness, and you're getting distracted with scallywags and whatnot, then you can see why this is going to make matters worse. And it's going to delay your recovery, which gets a bit annoying, because there they are saying they want to heal and recover and they want to do the work.
Right.
But what are you doing messing around with these people?
Crazy bitches.
You didn't
Right.
have the time of day to be doing that.
Right. That's why I have the list for a reason. Like, to show men where the landmines are and who not to fuck with.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's not just
especially
crazy women. In part, also even these like red pill philosophy channels, you can't really have people spelling it out for you all the time.
Yeah.
That's why it's called self-reflection. It's not
Right.
called everyone else does the reflection for you, and then you just get spoon fed. So
Right. Here, I need this. I need everybody's advice. I'm going to take everybody's advice, and then I'm going to, pick and choose which one sounds best. I
yeah,
feel like that's kind of natural, though.
well, we all need a bit of like you're racking your head, you can't get an answer, so it does help to
Yeah.
seek out advice and get knowledge.
Yeah,
But
but the
you still
people
need
that I see asking for advice pick the worst advice for some reason, even though it's like it's almost like the least amount of good advice or the least amount.
well, yeah. So we have a natural kind of yearning for sugar coated lies or things that sound sweet. So
Right.
with that in mind, realizing that, especially in this stage of development, that you are I don't want to sound offensive, but like a detriment to your own recovery.
Yeah.
Like you've been an obstacle in your own way.
Oh yeah.
Then if it sounds good to you, you should realize with an executive mind, that's probably
Right.
not the best advice. Really, you should be going for
Right.
the things that sound painful.
Exactly. Exactly. If it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside to hear that, yeah, it's probably the opposite is true. You're playing the opposite is true game of the crazy bitches after all. Yeah, I don't get it. I'm giving up. I'm giving up on
Now,
any of that though. Yeah, Douglas is up. Hey Douglas.
Hey, Mandy. Hey, Billy.
Doug.
the goat. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Nice stream tonight. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Oh, were you over at John's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had some homework to do for my railroad thing, but I was listening,
Yeah.
and so I appreciate you, bringing yourself out and telling your story there. It's great.
Oh,
And
why I can't stand crazy bitches?
yeah, I the reason I wanted to come in and weigh in here is you guys made a statement about people waking up. I have to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not optimistic for it.
Yeah.
I came here to. I'm in Kansas City tonight, and I came down from Sioux City, Iowa. I'm doing my railroad classes this week. I went to the grocery store last night and walked through and spent $40.
Mm-hmm.
Walked out with one bag, and I
Jeez.
was like, "What did I get here?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm not optimistic that people are waking up, and I think the West is done. And I don't know. That probably, when it's $7 for lunch meat, I'm looking at $7 for bologna right now.
Mm.
So, and I'm sure none of this has anything to do with what you guys were talking about, but so.
Well, it has to be a symptom of the fundamental problem.
Yeah.
I mean, why are we having inflation again right now? Oh yeah,
Women.
because the women in our country
Women are
don't know
in
what
power.
the fuck they're doing. Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
So
they're in power. They have taken authority. They have usurped authority over men,
mhm.
and they are in control of all of these establishments that we have now. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That is why the prices have gone up. Why we can't have anything here, and I'm not optimistic this is changing. My job, I'm 40. My job 30 years ago, and probably still to this day, would put me in the middle class. I don't think that I'll ever really get to see the middle class if it keeps going this way. $70,000, $80,000 a year very soon is going to start to feel like 20. 25 or 30. And so I'm not optimistic for what we have in front of us.
Mm.
I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I've already heard from a lot of guys on the railroad that they are going to one-man crews, which means that even if I do have a job now, in
Right.
5 years it can be gone.
Mm.
So that's the thing going around the railroad right now, is that if you are a railroader, yes, you can make great money, but I wouldn't count on it long term, because they're doing the same thing with the railroad that they're doing with the Walmarts. It's going all technology, and they're going to start cutting people's jobs. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I've seen it here in Kansas City and in Sioux City, Iowa. You can't find a human person working a cash register anymore. It's all automated.
Yeah, McDonald's is doing it that way. You're not going to even be able to get a flipping burger job.
No, this is all being done by design. And that's why I'm not optimistic about it. I think that the communism is going to win. And I know that feminism and communism are best friends. They're best friends. So no, what you're doing, GM, is right. You're correct. The feminism is evil in my view, because it's wreaking havoc on our. But no one is actually going to do anything about it. I think it's going to win.
Right. Right.
Oh, no, yeah. I was having a conversation ages ago with a gentleman about, we were speculating what's the future going to be like, and I can't remember exactly what we were saying, but we were like, well, crime rate will go up first, and then desperation will trigger a spike in crime rate. We'll see more and more homeless people. We'll see more families being broken up. We'll see more jobs being lost. Then we'll start seeing more mental health issues, more suicide rates going up.
Yeah.
And we'll probably get to a point where, like the electric power will go out and people will start resorting to cannibalism. We were going sick in the conversation. Like, this is, we were going like, that's pretty dark with it. But like you say, it's like, people aren't going to wake up. When you've got the option of facing a reality or becoming more pathologically unstable and escaping into psychosis, and sadly, they'll rather do that.
Yeah.
You're going to become more and more unhinged. Because before you can wake up, first of all, you need to, in a psychological, spiritual sense, you need to die. The way you were thinking before needs to go.
Yeah.
And if they're holding on to that, then and feeding it life, then it's gonna get worse.
Yeah. It's hard for me to put words on it, because I walked into this grocery store because I didn't have any food in this hotel, so and they don't have breakfast in the morning, so I wanted to get some stuff. But I drove up here. I drove down here, and the way that people are acting and behaving now, it's so like mean. It's like hostile. Like, and I can, I don't know. It's on the, just like driving, just being out in traffic and driving with people. Now, city driving is always a little bit different, but to me, this is different. People are like, they're either not paying attention, or they're just that just mean that they just want to hurt somebody. Yes.
Yeah, it's hard.
Really, I probably sound like an idiot right now. I don't know.
No, you're fine, mate. You're fine. No, but it makes sense, and it lines up with what you're saying. The observations lines up with what we're discussing, because when things are getting more stressful, when life becomes stable and unpredictable. There's no sense of security. People have high anxiety. They've got a lot of worry. Their survival modes are kicking in. They retreat into a self-centered nature, so they become more selfish. It's hard to be thinking about other people when you're too busy trying to worry about yourself. So everyone, they might try and think of the children or something like that, but it's a load of baloney. They're really thinking of themselves and how are they going to use if anything, they're going to use other people as the reason why they have that position of power. So it's like, don't get rid of me. I'm the one looking out for the children. So you need me. So when you have a self-centered society where every individual is out for themselves, on top of crowd mentality, you'll get mob-like behavior, and tribalistic behavior. There's no empathy. So we're seeing that that's where you're probably seeing a lot of this aggression, because why would you care about someone else if you're too busy worrying about your own survival?
Yeah.
So you're going to be angry at that other person, especially if they're doing all right.
I don't know if this makes sense, Billy. But for me, it's kind of simple. We shouldn't be paying $3.50 for gas. Bologna shouldn't be costing $7 a gallon. Or I mean, not gallon, a pack. It shouldn't have to be that way. Just objectively. Now, I know Orange Man bad. I get it. And I'm starting to realize that most Americans are communists. That they want this to happen. It's not a big conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. They want capitalism gone. And it appears like they're going to win.
Yeah. Well, yes, you're right. I mean, the increases in prices are disproportionate. So how can we rationalize this? One explanation could be with this selfish, money-grubbing, greedy, elitist kind of attitude a lot of organizations are now having, with the fear of their company collapsing, and the impulsivity of it, instead of thinking of the future and how much damage is going to be causing. It's like, we better screw people over right now. We better fleece them for all they're worth, while they still got money. So instead of having a fair increase, like maybe only a few cents or maybe $1, it's like we might as well 100% hyperinflate items and just basically rob people blind now. It's almost like all-out war. It's just like, look, we're just going to basically rob you. So your groceries, what would you expect? What would you suggest would be a fair price you were expecting to pay? You said you paid $40.
Yeah, and it was because I wasn't spending that much back in Sioux City.
Right. So what would you think would be a more pragmatic or fair price for that bag of shopping you bought? Like $20, half that?
Yeah,
22.
Yeah, $22, $22 to $25.
Yeah. So, so the companies are like, we need to make more money than that. You know, we want to make sure we're the kings here. So we're gonna not put it up to 25 or 30. Sod it, fuck it. We're gonna make it $40. If this guy wants that shopping, he's gonna have to pay 40.
Yes. And it was a suggestion, obviously, by the hotel. In any other circumstances, I would have went to Aldi's or even Walmart. I just found myself here, and I didn't know where I was going, and I was hungry, so I went there and I got it. And then I looked at the cashier, and I said, "Are you serious? Is this really how much?" And I was even, going through the store and looking, and I was like, "Wow, this is crazy prices."
Yeah.
And it's not actually getting that much cheaper in the cheaper stores either. Like the cheaper stores, their prices are all coming up too.
And that's another thing where, because it's rolled out nationally and becomes the sort of air quote the norm, the new normal. Over time, instead of you being surprised and in shock, you're gonna, unfortunately, and everyone else with you will be like, well, that's just the way it is. We can't
Right.
complain about it. You got to bite the bullet.
Right.
But
That's
there's
the
no
attitude.
foresight going on, because, well, for you and I there is, because it's like we can't keep on with these payments.
No,
But
no.
from the other company, they're like, well, we don't give a rat's ass about what you think. If you can't
Right.
afford it, you're out of luck.
Yeah. And even the people are like, they're not even upset about it.
Yeah. So
They're
they've been demoralized. They people are, with society sort of collapsing, and like you're saying, with just the mentality of people becoming more selfishly driven and survivalistic and all of this, you haven't got the energy to really fight them. And I mean, what are you going to do? Like, it's either you pay the $40 for that bag, or you don't, and then you don't get the food. So
I shouldn't have
like it
done
or lump it.
Yeah, I won't do that again. And I told them, I'm like, this is the last, I've never heard of your store. This is what the hotel people said. Here's where you go to shop. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I won't be doing that again. But even walking into the Walmarts and seeing the lunch meat section and how empty and bare that it is, really everywhere that I've been, at least in the last several months, I'm just like, is it really? Are we actually going through a shortage of supply? Is that real? Is that what's really happening?
People over here in the UK are already resorting to stealing. So, when you go to the supermarket, they got those security tags on like alcohol. They're putting security tags on packs of butter, on milk cartons.
That's crazy.
I saw eggs. I saw a 12, the highest I've ever seen it, $7.50 for a dozen eggs.
Yeah. So all these, so you can see this like knock-on chain of reaction happening, where it's like if you swindle people of their budget, of their food money, they can't afford the food anymore. So then companies can't make, with their greed. Yes, they in the short term they've made a lot of money out of everyone's expense, but it's not a good business model, because now you've priced out your customers.
Yeah.
So who's going to buy your goods? So you're going to shut down.
Is it because there's only, and I don't mean to sound racist, or I don't mean to sound sexist or any kind of way like that. I've never been able to go to the grocery store and fill a cart and then go out and buy hundreds and hundreds of dollars of food at any time. Like I've been nickeling and diming for most of my life, but I'll watch people go in there and they will have their shopping carts filled to the brink, to overflowing. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, I have a $80,000 a year job. Now I just started that, so I haven't made that yet, but I've never made that kind of money before. But then I'm watching people with that are on welfare. I'll just say it. They're on welfare.
Well,
And
they're
I'm not
already
mad at
delusional.
them. I'm
They're
not
already
mad. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're spending like there's no tomorrow. They're like
Right. Right.
they've already conceited, and we're like, fuck it. I don't want to have to live minimalist. I'm just going to live my high life and basically enjoy it while I can, and I'll cross that road when I get there or something, and then I'll and complain.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's irresponsible.
But those are the ones who get all of the workers' taxes are going to them.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah.
mhm.
That's a sign of they've been spoiled. They've had it easy, and they feel privileged. Those who've had to work hard, like yourself, understand the value of money and know how to be more frivolous with it and careful with because you know how hard it is to come by it. So,
Yeah.
so you're going to be
Yeah.
watching out, and that's why when you get charged $40, you're in shock and like feel outraged or cheating.
Yeah.
They might feel a little bit like that, but they'll be like, well, no biggie. I'll just claim more money, down the road and say, fill in the forms or whatever, and go with the program.
Yeah. It's so mind-boggling to me because I scraped every penny I had to go work for the railroad, and that basically left me, at the bottom of the tank. And so I took a leap of faith that this job was going to be worth that, and I think that it will to some degree, but now the conversation has happened, and they even brought it up today in orientation down here that they're already talking about recession, and so I'm going to be on the bottom of the food chain with the railroad. So really, all I can do is work with it, as long as I can. But the problem is, if that does come to an end, I'm not going to have anybody to rescue me. The government's not going to step in and say, hey, Doug, and I wouldn't want them to because I have pride. And maybe pride's not good, but I don't want the government rescuing me. I want them to, piss off out of my life.
Well, provided you can withstand it, that puts you actually in a stronger position because you're not relying on the government.
Mm-hmm.
Now you might live a low, like a minimalistic kind of lifestyle, and it might be a bit hard, like grafting and making ends meet. But psychologically speaking, you'll at least have your peace of mind, your self-respect, your dignity, and you could be proud. You can go forward, and that'll carry you along. You'll have your sanity. You'll be more grounded and realistic. And it's going to be those with those full shopping carts. And I bet when they got those full shopping carts, they're items which are what we would consider as like luxury items or something like that. It's
I don't
silly.
mean to sound, and I don't mean to say that in a judgmental way, like they're bad people. But it's just something that
just gluttonous.
Right.
When I look in my checking account and I realize what I can't get, and I watch those prices continue to go up on things, I'm like, just a handful of years ago, and I know people hate Trump, I get it, but I had never seen gas that low, fuel costs, and just the cost of living, and just how many jobs were coming back. But then, I'm not saying he's the best person in the world. I mean, that goes to me. I'm the best person in the world. No, I'm just teasing. But I don't understand the mindset of a country to want harm, to wish harm on us. See, I would rather sacrifice for somebody else's well-being.
Yeah, but you're a man, and you know the country's run by women. who don't
Oh.
think that way.
They don't. Oh, I get now. I understand what's going on. Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. And anyway, I hope I didn't bother you guys tonight. Thanks for letting me come on and say hello.
No problem, Douglas.
And great stream with John. I appreciated what you had to say. And Billy, thank you for being a friend too. And I've been super busy lately, and I've been wanting to come and hang out and say hi to you guys. So thank you.
While you guys were talking, I was just checking out a couple crazy bitches.
You don't have to look. You don't have to look very much further than the House of Congress.
Oh yeah. Well, this one particularly has a hard on for Billy. Yeah, histrionic. They just cannot refrain from trying to spin a narrative, can they?
Mm-mm. Well, I'm gonna call it a night.
All right, Douglas. Have a
but
good
thank
night. Thanks
you, guys.
for coming up.
Thank you. Have a great night, guys.
All right, Douglas. Good night. Elspeth and Pope. I didn't listen. I saw Hammerhand made a video. I shared that one. I mean, I could just, when I saw who was on the panel, I could just pretty much predict how that conversation went.
Oh, wait. So I went for a piss. Sorry. Where did Doug jumped off?
Yeah, he said thank you for chatting, and
cheers, Doug, and good catching up with him.
Yeah. While you guys were talking, I was checking out some crazy bitches. One that has a particular hard on for you, Billy.
Oh,
Go on. Apparently, I'm being accused of being histrionic at the moment. This little bastard factory molests the psychology field to just grasp at straws.
where are credentials?
Yeah.
Well, they say I go around diagnosing people. There they are.
Right. Yeah.
They say I'm on a high horse while they're lecturing me on their high horse.
Right. That was pretty funny, though. She really hates every time I stream. It's actually really fucking weird. She just refuses to leave my channel alone. I thought she said she was done.
She said she was leaving a while ago.
Well, she's been rather busy. I think she was psycho watching John's stream too. Well, what do you think, Billy? Should we call it a night?
Yeah, I'm going to be going in a minute anyway, really. Otherwise, I'm going to get to that point where it's like, Should I just stay up all night, or
Right. Yeah. Yeah, something about John's music, that intro song. I had to turn that down. Green Lord is new. You came from John's channel, right? I thought I saw him over on John's channel.
Where is Billy from? Mandy from? Well, I'm from the UK.
And I live in Texas. We are both from the, I guess, the psychology bubble, technically, interest-wise.
Yeah, we're not officially in the field of psychology, but we are very much interested in what happens there.
Well, crazy bitches. It's full of them. I know the professionals like to split the crazy bitch hair into many, many, many little groups, but they all look the same to me. They all cycle through all the different cluster B personality disorders, whatever. They try whatever malicious tactics will work to get the outcome that they desire. So if the overt stuff doesn't work, they go covert, all that stuff.
Well, that's a bit of a misconception. Like, you got the grandiose and you got the covert. I mean, both they'll juxtapose their positions from time to time. The overt at some point will become, what did you just say? The overt will at some point become covert, and vice versa. They don't just stay in their lane throughout.
They don't. If the lane they're used to isn't working out for them, they will switch lanes for sure.
Yeah.
But the underlying principles behind all of it is just dishonesty and their false self, and keep up their bullshit lies. They do anything to keep that going. Hello, bullets.
It's the wolf mother and the goat fly.
Yeah, the goat fly.
What's up?
That is a goat fly.
It is the goat fly. I remember that, Av. It's nice.
How's it going, bullets? Actually, I'm glad you're here because I'm going to pee real quick before Billy leaves.
Yeah, go do that voodoo you do. Yeah, I got some news.
Cool.
Some awesome news. I was perusing in the Discords, and I came across this dude by the name of Juan Carlos, and he typed in the Discords that he just got a job making a 6-figure salary. I made a video about it on my channel. If you want to go check that out later, and give you basically an update, on a new direction, and what's going on in the manosphere, not just in the MGTOW community, but from, we're seeing this in a lot of different communities. People are picking up on this, and it's just like, I'm just like beside myself, especially after the shitty day I just had, to come into this community and to see somebody just fucking crush it, just alleviated all the crap that I went through today. It's got me focused, to take on tomorrow, and seize the day, So yeah, awesome inspirational content, you know. And I'm kind of like launching my own crushing it challenge, if you got any video content or even just a comment or two of something awesome, that you're working on or that you're working towards or something that you're building, either in your personal life or career or whatnot like that, share it with your brothers. Drop that shit in the Discord. Give me some material to talk about. Show me some good stuff. Give me some good content. I need to see that. Go watch that video. When you gotta, you don't have to do it now. You know, you can do it later or tomorrow, whenever. You stop on by and watch that crushing it video. And own up to the challenge, man. And make an example, for your brothers to follow. And point them in the new direction. It's awesome. It's awesome. And I hope you enjoy it as well. Yeah, but I
Well,
saw him, and he popped in a thank you video because all the guys, and this happened in Minka's server, by the way. I was just perusing around, because I got to clear comments and stuff, because it gets cluttered in there. I hate the scores, but
bullet,
still, they serve a purpose. Yeah, what's up,
bullet.
Goat Fly?
Would this be a cop out response to what you just said? But every day, watching my kid grow is in a way like me crushing it. Well, really, my kid is the one
Absolutely.
my kid is the one crushing
Absolutely.
it, but I get front row seats to watch
Absolutely.
her grow.
Hey, dude, you
So I'm very,
you already crushed it. You were volunteering, holding back traffic and shit, so the kids can cross the street. You know, you're doing your part. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You're setting an example for those little kids to follow. They see you do that, and they think to themselves, I mean, they learn from that example, and you're setting the example for them. So absolutely, it's no different than Father Saunders, in the backyard teaching his son how to box, and spending time with his kid and stuff.
nice.
Those we need more father figure
That's something.
examples like that.
That is something I want to get maybe not boxing, but some kind of martial arts. I would like to get my kid involved in.
Right. I recommend probably anything like judo. Judo, like it is really good, or like a keto. I studied a little bit of Aikido, a little bit of Taekwondo. I think I made it up to like a brown belt, and before I had to I'd step off of that. I just never really I knew enough, to hold my own. I mean, I started boxing when I was younger, so I mean I could hold my own. But definitely it's an awesome discipline. Great. It's always wise, to learn how to defend yourself.
You know
I
what?
think
We
saw Andrew Tate mention that too.
over the weekend, I was making a dolls, like the kids' dolls. I was making a doll's dress.
Mhm.
So so she can learn how to do martial arts. I'm gonna have to learn how to do some sewing.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I know how to sew on a button or two if I need to. Every dude should. You should master these skills. Even if you deem them, hey, that's too feminine and shit. Hey, man, you be amazed. Having some, a sewing kit can come in handy. Whether you need to sew a button on really quick, or sew a wound, same concept. But yeah, man, I saw Juan Carlos talk about that today, and just drop that Moab of an awesome mentor bomb right there in the Minka's Discord, and I immediately went over to Mandy's and shared it there. Hoping somebody else can take it to other servers and share that good news as well. Men, especially like over in the Rager community and everything, those guys need to hear this. They need to hear that these positives, that it's possible to come out of that red pill rage, and better yourself and better your life, and go through that healing process. this type of content will do that for you. It'll help bring you out of it.
Yeah.
We need more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
The
is.
thing about it is this, Mandy.
Mhm.
You asked me before how to bring the men together.
Yeah.
You have to understand. You have to understand. From a MGTOW perspective, a lot of us guys, we've been put through the ringer. And a lot of these guys are hurt. They need to heal first before they can work together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from small victories to large victories. I mean,
Hmm.
for the like Hammerhand used to say, like particularly when it comes to sort of suicidally or suicidal ideation minded type people, like a day above dirt is a I can't remember how he says it exactly, but like is a victory sort of thing. So you get what I'm saying, like basically like the fact that you're alive and you're surviving shouldn't be underestimated or ignored or devalued in any way. So even if you're not necessarily like achieving particular goals, but you're at least striving towards it, you're on a good, you're doing well, and that shouldn't be discounted. Like you say, this his name is Carlos. Like the job, his salary, he wouldn't get that without the baby steps that led up to it.
Right. Right. Well, I don't expect anybody to go out and just automatically get a six-figure job. You need to work towards it, you know.
Right.
But it's you could follow that dude, and if follow him, and listen to him talk about you know how he came into that position. I haven't reached out to him yet, but I'd like to. I'd like to bring him in, for an interview stream,
Yeah,
and talk about that if he's willing to do that.
yeah,
Jeremy
one
Hirsch,
of
that's awesome, man. Definitely go for that license, dude. Yeah, you can make big money, and if Mandy can Chiron his comment, Lord Jeremy Hirsch's comment there on the bottom right there, that's really awesome, dude. Yeah, go get that. Go get that commercial driver's license. You can make big bucks doing that. I think Hammerhand and True Blood, they're career truck drivers. Yes, you can stack paper to the ceiling doing that.
yeah. Once you get the ball rolling, that motivation, determination, you're almost like unstoppable. Um, it's
Hmm.
the danger of procrastination and depression and learned helplessness that's going to keep you in the gutter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what my video is about. It goes into that. You may feel like you got a dark cloud hanging over you. I had a little bit of one hanging over me today, But is it going to hold me back? Is it going to stop me? Oh hell no! Oh hell no! Because I got brothers in here who are crushing it and showing me, that it can be done. That you can overcome. You can overcome that. Hold on a second.
Lord Jeremy said diving, not driving, underwater construction.
Awesome. Interesting.
Yeah.
You might find some treasure deep in the
Mhm.
sea.
All right, sorry about that.
Yeah, Bullets, he said diving, not driving, like underwater construction.
Oh, diving. Oh, okay. Well, I
Yeah.
thought he maybe misspelled that or something. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, commercial divers, man, they make buku bucks, man. That's like hazard pay shit level shit right there, especially like if you're like doing it off the oil rigs. Diving, not diving. Awesome. Okay, cool. Underwater construction. Hell yeah, dude. That's badass, man. You know, if you can, man, if you want to like, if you can just like, drop some videos and stuff just like on some of that stuff and what you do, that'd be awesome. I mean, I'm not saying you dox yourself or anything like that, but just basically like, share the industry, what you do, what you're planning, what your dreams of achieving, through that career and so forth, and showing somebody else wants to go into that field, what would they have to do in order, to start out to get the credentials to enter into that type of field if they wanted to like, make that big money too. Just setting the examples, man. Is just like a huge Moab, and shatters the gloom and doom of the red pill paradigm, and that's what I see that a lot of men need to overcome because
Oh yeah,
in my personal opinion, so many of us been led down the wrong path, with all this rager stuff, and to see somebody like Juan Carlos come out, and put out a comment like that or a video, about getting a job, making a six-figure salary, and being positive and bettering his life, has a profound effect on other people in the community. As you see, I mean, he's got lots of thumbs up, lots of likes, and everything about it. And the word needs to get out. And to give him a pat on the back and a shot of encouragement, you know, to go for it. I mean, that's really all it takes,
yeah,
and
yeah.
just
What's the
somebody
worst that can
seeing.
happen? Like you fail.
r-
You
right.
know?
And
you're where you are right now, so got nothing to lose
yeah,
in
it's
a
like
way.
Doug was on here just a minute ago. He's working the trains, I think it was. He got a job,
Yeah,
with the train system or something. I'm not really sure. I was supposed to do an interview with Doug a long time ago. Man, things have been so hectic. I just didn't ever get had a chance to meet up with him. Now, another one was Bingus. I never got a chance to meet up with him. It's just been a real struggle to do that. My time isn't my own. I have my own responsibilities to take care of. I do regret not being able to talk to them, but hopefully in the future, maybe sometime later this year when they got time, if they're around, if they want to do come in and do a live stream with me, hey, that'd be awesome. I'd love to add that to my collection, of mentoring streams. Me and Bandit just did one recently. We did another back and forth. You know, um, we touched on a lot of good things, and good topics and stuff, just to bring these things to light. And we're just talking about random things that are just right off the top of our heads, and coming up, with a takeaway out of all of that. You know, and encourage you guys to do the same. Do one-on-ones with each other, and talk about these things. You'd be amazed. You'd be amazed. You just click. Me and Mandy have done it. Me and Red Pill Mike have done it. Me and D-Man 50 and a few other people have done it. Contriver, you know, and this is how we found this idea for New Direction, and mentoring each other because this stuff works. Even my old boy, Red Bull Jack, popped in the streams and stuff. He knows, he's seen it. He's seen this stuff work before. He understands it. And this is the path to healing. This is the path out of the red pill rage. This is the path out of black pill nihilism. This is the path out of being a lone wolf and everything. If you're gonna be if you want to be a lone wolf, hey, dude, that's fine. If you want to be a passport, bro, I guess if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. To me, it's like you're sipping for pussy, you know. But if you, I prefer another direction. I prefer something that's doesn't require all this ideology and dictate behind it. It should be more simple. You know, you should be able to better yourself. through a more positive path, I guess you could say. That's what I'm directing towards.
Here, here.
It's a good time to be pushing forward a message as well, because traditionally you got the New Year's resolution. I haven't heard
Right.
anyone mention since the new year. I don't know, maybe if it's like you get to a certain age and you stop bothering, but
Right.
Look at Iridium Kush. He just popped in here earlier and said, that he's not going to stop. You know, he needs to do this.
Yeah.
For himself. And it helps give him purpose. That's awesome. That's awesome. If what he's doing gives him purpose, and he's sharing these experiences and stuff, you know, other people are going to follow that because
yeah,
if it's a healing path for him, it'll be a healing path for others as well.
there's a slight contradiction, because I sometimes will suggest to be weary of complacency, because what follows soon after will be negligence. But complacency shouldn't be conflated with contentment. So people can become
Mhm.
comfortable being bone idle, because it's a
Mhm.
familiar.
Oh
But like
yeah.
what Kush is saying, like he needs to have that challenge or resistance or something to push against to keep him optimal, to keep him primed and uh, in pursuit, to keep him in flow. And yeah, so that is pushing away complacency. And so he won't, with a mindset like he's got, he's not going to become negligent.
Right. I was there too.
Yeah.
So is Contriver and others, and I know there are ragers that are still in the echo chambers. They're in that as well, but they're too blind to see it.
It's
You
kind of
know.
like the additional benefits of, like, not only are you pursuing a goal to try and better
Uh-huh.
yourself, but it has that knock-on effect where you become more um, in a healthy way, like vigilant. You become more attentive. You become more
Oh yeah.
responsible in all aspects of your life. You just need some, like you say, like a direction and a motivation, a pursuit, and that will give you reason and meaning,
Right.
and other things will follow. Like, let's say with Jeremy's diving career.
Hmm.
Well, I presume because he's going to be underwater, swimming a lot, he's going to need to make sure his health is in order. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it has that knock-on effect where he's going to have to, like, he might already be in fine health anyway, but if he wasn't, he would have to address that as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, I follow you, man. Like I said, me and Contriver were there. Like when I took my vacation, I think it was February of last year. I just had to step off, for a while from all the bullshit that was just going on. I just, online and in my personal life. But once I did that, it was like a breath of fresh air, like everything lifted off of my shoulders. And
Hmm.
I started getting better sleep right off the bat. And I started having more energy, and just became more focusing on what I needed to focus on, you know.
Yeah. You got to strip back
Right.
the fluff, the unnecessary, so that you can so you can allocate more time and energy and
Yeah.
and have that realization of what really matters the most or important to you.
Yeah. Probably the best thing that I could recommend for somebody that's on Red Pill Rage, get off the internet for a while, and then come back later, you know. Go,
Yeah,
get clear your mind, because when I
get some
came back,
perspective.
more prepared, more focused, You know, I wasn't really prepared or focused to start doing streams or videos. You know, not until the time Mandy was, I think it was RBR. You know, being him had a debate on her stream, and I posted that video up, and I was kind of surprised at the response that it got on my own channel. I'm like, okay, well, I have some subs here that are interested in some things, But what really pushed that forward was Hermit's video about his, property in Hawaii and all his plans for that. And I'm like, we need more of this. Why don't we see more of that? You know, we
Well,
need
that's
more
one of
Iridium Cushes making videos of closing $500,000 deals. We need more money making Mondays. We need more Juan Carlos's, getting 6,000, six-figure a year jobs.
yeah,
We
yeah.
need more positives in the manosphere.
Is it possible to get a 6-figure job while you're red pill raging? No way.
Right.
No,
So
no,
the,
not
the
in your right
problem with the
mind.
red pill rage is that while they're in it, they think that the rage is the most important thing happening for them. If in fact, it's probably the
Yeah.
least important thing, really.
You can OD on the red pill. I did. I mean, it put me in a long depression. Dude, I let my hair grow out. I let my beard grow out. I just didn't give a fuck about life anymore. Just didn't give a fuck about life. I just had so much, taking care of two elderly people and shit that, I mean, a lot of people don't seem to understand my situation is, or contriver situation. I mean, imagine having to ferry, an elderly couple back and forth to the hospital 4 or 5 times a week to fucking San Antonio. And do that shit for 3 years and see if you're in your fucking right mind after that. And then you come online and you get red pill rage shoved down your fucking throat. It just makes you mad at the world, mad at your life, mad at yourself, and it's toxic. It's hard to fucking come out of, you know, especially if you treat it like an ideology. It'll eat you up inside. Next thing you know, you got diabetes or fucking high blood pressure and shit. Or you got heart problems. You wind up having to go in the hospital. There's got to be a better path. And from my experience, the MGTOW mentorship is the most positive aspect of any part of red pill, black pill, MGTOW. Positive mentorship has always had a profound effect. That's why I'm so adamant about pushing that.
Yeah.
Guys,
By the way, yeah,
uh,
you gotta go. I
I'm
know
gonna
it's
get
late for
going.
you.
Lord Jeremy's on the panel.
Yep,
So
Lord Jeremy joined us.
say hi and bye. I'll have to catch up another time. But Bullets, it's good catching up with you as well, and GM.
Namaste, go fly.
Thanks, Billy.
Yes, I'm gonna fly.
Have a good one, Billy.
Cheers, guys.
Hello, Lord Jeremy. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. The
Now
audio
that-
good on your end?
Yeah, super good. Yeah, a one-on-one with you and Bullets would be awesome.
Jeremy Hirsch.
You can reach him in the Discord.
Yeah, now that I'm on there, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, you're welcome. Uh-oh, we got
Yeah.
Mr. No Pants Outlaw.
Yeah, you can DM me, man, and we hook. I usually do my interviews on Sunday at 8 o'clock.
Central time.
If that's too tough for you, we can work something else out. Yeah, 8 p.m. Central Texas time or Chicago time. We're Central time zone here.
Yeah, I'm
So,
central too. So
Cool. Sundays 8 o'clock.
yeah, I should be able to do that probably next week.
Yeah, let me see here. That would be on the 22nd. So Sunday the 22nd. Sure, I can pencil you right in. I don't think I have anything planned. Yep. I'm open. Let's do it.
All right,
Sunday
man.
on the 22nd. Lord Jeremy Hirsch will be on Bullets for Teeth. We're gonna do a
Nice.
mentorship stream, 1-on-1. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Forward to it. Right on. Me too. Who's down there
Hello,
on the
Outlaw.
bottom?
That's Outlaw.
Hey, hey guys, how you
How's it
doing?
going, man? Good.
What's up, guys?
Fucking fantastic.
So did you
Outlaw.
all see John's stream?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know you
pretty
saw
good.
me there.
Yep.
No, I was gonna ask you about that because I only caught a small part of it because I've been running ragged all day. So I was gonna ask you, how did it go, and what are your perceptions? You know, um,
Perceptions
go-
of
I don't know. I mean, of the interview and stuff. I mean, how did it go? I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you think it went well, or like?
yeah, I thought it went pretty
mean,
well.
yeah.
I expected him to ask harder questions,
Uh-huh.
but
Well, I never
Yeah.
did an interview with Gone with John, and the reason why I never did was because there were a lot of red pill ragers over there at the time, and it was just too early for me to go over there and lay this all down for these guys because I have no filter about it, you know, and a lot of them are worship these other channels and stuff that I don't agree with, and that I've locked horns with before in the past, and I think it would have caused more of a disruption than anything. So it's probably better if I stay in my own lane, and I don't want to be over there fucking starting a war with anybody. That's not what I'm about. I'm not here to start a war. I'm here
See,
to steer the
don't-
ship in a new direction.
I don't think John's channel is like that, though. I don't know.
No, it's not John. It's a lot of the people that are over there that are sub to him that watch his channel, that follow him. It's kind of like a lot of the dudes that are in there are in like Undead at Hammer and Hammer Hands chats and stuff. I'm not allowed over there. Yeah.
Right.
If I go over there, it's gonna start a war. I don't want a war. I don't want to fight these guys. I don't want to talk. I don't want to argue or fight with anybody that's not, it's just not going to go anywhere. It's not going to get us anywhere positive. It'll be a shit show. And I didn't want, my relationship with John as it stands right now, to turn into a shit show.
Yeah.
Because we've seen how the chat can disrupt things, and I don't want to argue with the chat while I'm trying to like have an interview or stream with John. It just wouldn't be congruent at the time. Maybe in a little while, when things cool down, when we get more mentorship content out there, when more other channels start to understand what we're talking about over here, then maybe, yeah, but they need to be more receptive. It's kind of like the way me and Bandit were talking about it to Woody Johnson, I believe, because he said our tone was kind of boring to him, and I had to explain to him, like, look, me and Bandit are talking on a different frequency than maybe that you're used to. But maybe in a week or so, when you see Bandit and Iridium talking, it'll be on a frequency you can understand. And then, you'll look back at what me and Bandit were talking about and things will start to click to you. It's kind of like, the way that Chris Cole over at Mr. Reagan explained the difference between people hear things on different frequencies and different levels. Kind of like the way women talk in a higher frequency as compared to men who talk in a lower frequency. That's kind of like, the way, when I came in and I remember the struggle session video, I kind of regret that because I immediately, rubbed people the wrong way, but I was pissed when I made that video,
Well, I think because you saw what was going on and who instigated and facilitated it, though.
Right. Well, I have PTSD from that shit,
Yeah.
And, if you've been through it and you recognize it for what it is, you probably would have the same reaction.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, toxic anger is pretty contagious.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like I said, I apologize for that, and I have regrets, for that approach. Maybe I should have handled it differently. I'm trying to make amends for that now.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna happen overnight. Some people have already made up their mind, about me. Some people, have listened to what I had to say and just decided, it's not for them. Hey, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine, dude. If you want to be an angler and go talk to Elspeth thought, more power to you. I'm not
Fucking
going to stop
Elspeth.
you. Yeah,
Fucking
I'm not going to.
Elspeth. I cannot stand.
Yeah, if
Uh,
if you want to go watch an undead commie, man, hey, more power to you. I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm
all
not
right.
going to
Can we
stand
change
in
the
your way.
subject back to
Yeah,
John's stream?
yeah, John Stream. Yeah. Anyway, John Stream seemed pretty awesome. Everybody in the chat, seemed really cool. With
Yeah.
the interview and everything. Looking forward to another one. I'll have to review that tomorrow. I didn't get a chance to watch it all the way through, but I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
that. But you think it went well, huh? Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Basically, I also thank John for basically proving me right for everything I've been saying about you for the past 2 years. Like everybody's like had it out for you. Why is Mandy in the manosphere? We don't allow women in the manosphere. I'm so sick of that shit, man.
Well,
Like,
I'm
look,
not in the
if
manosphere,
no,
technically.
that's what I tried to explain to him. This is an open forum. That's
Right.
kind of like my channel. It's not a MGTOW channel. It's an open forum channel. Even though I am a MGTOW, and I do promote MGTOW. I'm over there promoting MGTOW mentorship because that's my lifestyle, But I can't even put, the MGTOW logo on my name or on my channel because if I do, I'll get attacked automatically. It's kind of like they look at it like a homing beacon to attack, and they start coming in with their ideological bullshit. So, I have to do my own fucking thing. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it's like having the wrong IFF tag.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, they take it as a reason to come and attack you. And that kind of like has me, when I step back from that, it's kind of like, they got this they're trying to inject some kind of ideology into it. Like you have to obey their fucking rules. That's not how MGTOW works. MGTOW is about self-ownership. It's not about obeying somebody else's ideology, every time you come online. That's not how this works. They twisted it to suit their own narrative. And to me, it looks like they're pushing a communist agenda, and trying to keep men in this red pill rage phase so they can't break out of it or they'll be persecuted and put through a struggle session, Well, my approach is different. I have a way out of it. So does Iridium. Iridium and Contriver, they got a way out of it. It wasn't until I made that struggle session video that Contriver snapped too. He's like, "Whoa, wait a minute, you're right." He never realized it before. He didn't know what they were doing, but I did. I knew exactly what was going on at the time. I've been through it.
Well, and I know exactly who
sometimes you need
did it.
somebody, you need a brother to step outside of the box and look at things, for you because there's maybe some bullshit that's going on that you can't see. That's what mentorship is. That's what mentorship's all about. It's kind of like, when I'm talking to Bandit and he's talking about financial stuff. He can see things that I can't. or that I've never considered pertaining to my situation or to your situation. This is how mentorship works. We mentor each other to be better men.
Yeah, it's the whole reason we have specialists.
Right.
Divide the workload, and whenever anybody needs help, you just go to the specialist.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
I identify as the
Yeah.
crazy bitch specialist.
Well, me and Bandit talked about that in our last Sunday stream, and I think it's kind of like when I met Angler and I tried to talk to Angler, I can't help Angler. Angler needs to talk to somebody else. He needs another mentor, somebody that can talk on his level, because obviously he can't talk on mine, or I just can't talk on his. We can't. Our frequencies are too fried and too messed up. Kind of like the situation between me and Hermit. Me and Hermit are frequent. I like Hermit. I really do. I really do. I think he's doing a good job over there. But there's a time and place, for raging on a thought. But that wasn't the time or the place, and he's just not on that frequency yet. He's on the rager frequency, and I'm not. I'm on a new direction frequency.
And how many times do we talk about not being in your emotions? You can't think clearly when you're thinking emotionally, and it doesn't matter if it's sadness or anger or confusion.
Right.
The only way you can think logically is if you take emotion out of it.
Right. That's the thing. Who said it best was Terrence Popp when he said, "To hate, you have to care." So obviously, if
Yes.
you're raging on a thought, you obviously are overly emotional about the thought being in the in a stream or in the community. That's the thing. I don't get emotional or anything about that type of shit. I'm trying to focus on something different than raging on thoughts. I've raged on thoughts before. Where has it gotten me? It's gotten me nowhere. Raging on thoughts, watching flame content has gotten me nowhere. Except it's got me with it's given me fucking high blood pressure. That's what it's done. That's and there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a new direction. There's got to be something else that's going to be more beneficial. Whether you're mentoring, somebody to better their health, better their career, their education, or their mindset. That's way better than just being, following a channel that all they're producing, and giving you is flame content. To keep you raging, to keep you angry, to feed you stupid fake news media bullshit. Talking about, I think Contriver, was it Contriver? I think it was Contriver. He got really pissed off that they were over on Hammerhand or something like that, and they were talking about the twerking Hulk chick. That's not MGTOW content. That's flame content. MGTOW content is Iridium Kush streaming about how he closed a $500,000 deal. MGTOW content is Carlos coming, posting up in the Discords that he just, got a six-figure job. MGTOW content is Lord Jeremy Hurd, getting his commercial
Jeez,
diving
outlaw.
license so he can stack paper to the ceiling. That's
Yeah,
MGTOW
but
content.
there's different lanes also. So there's lots of different content that's useful for a lot of different things. Some people are needed to expose the fuckery,
Yeah.
and some people are really good at exposing the fuckery.
Well, that's the thing. If there's nothing wrong with exposing the fuckery if that's what you want to do. But
Yeah.
what I'm advocating for
hmm
and trying to encourage other men to do and to step up and create is a different kind of content to that. We're making a new
Yeah.
lane on the MGTOW highway here. That's more geared to more positive content.
Yeah.
More content that's going to inspire young men that are coming in here I'm like, well, and they get stuck in the flame content or the rager echo chambers or the struggle sessions, and they can't see a way out of it, and they read the definition of MGTOW on Wikipedia, and they're like, you know what, Wikipedia is right. These dudes are crazy, because every time I come in here, they're raging, they're stabbing each other in the back. No, that's not MGTOW. There's got to be another path. The people deserve a choice.
Yeah.
And
Well, and I'm
this
glad
is just a
you.
more positive path.
Yeah, I'm glad you offer an alternative choice. By the way, Outlaw, I muted you because there was some really loud clanking in the background. I don't know what it was, but it was doing my head in. Are you there, Outlaw?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there is a point to talking about girls and stuff, but at some point, if you are MGTOW, you got to focus on something else. And the best thing you can focus on is improving yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, financially.
Well, that's what
Well,
I always assumed it was when I, heard Terrence Pop, and Stardust, Sandman, that MGTOW is about, your personal sovereignty, and putting yourself first, before anything else. And then all of a sudden, this red pill rage shit comes and just broadsides you.
To be fair, I mean, I can understand the anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean
I'm
to
sure you can
interrupt
too.
Andy. Oh yeah.
You're good.
Well, going back to to hate somebody, you have to care. I'm still trying to figure out how to get a certain bastard factory to stop caring about me. She wants me to take back words that I refuse to.
Now, she's just jelly because she wants to be like you. That's what that's all about.
Mm.
She just wish her breast oscles were as big as yours. That's
Well,
my
She wishes
she's-
she had. Sorry.
She's accusing me of going on John's platform tonight to go steal subscribers.
Oh my
I do it
god.
all the time.
Ugh.
That's how you grow. That's how you grow. She's just a dumb bitch. She doesn't know anything about marketing there's no such thing as bad advertising. I have haters on my channel that sub to me and shit.
Well, you know what I figured out though? Alice's channel gets zero attention unless she's talking about me. I've learned that. I mean, she has a couple people that like
You want to drive her nuts? Ignore her.
I have been, and she keeps posting and posting and posting and posting.
Yep. She's going nuts.
She is.
That's funny.
Mm.
And how
The
much
same-
of it is pure jealousy of the respect that you have garnered from the men that come to your channel?
Mm.
And a lot of the people on John's stream were subscribed to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with that, is they wish that they were in your shoes and had the ability to garner the respect of men, not just control them.
Right. This one actually
Well,
wants a Redeem Kush to get a motorcycle.
when it comes to these thoughts that that orbit, Mandy's channel, I don't pay them any mind. Mandy tells me about them all the time. It's kind of like my friend Lori. She tells me, what's going on with the thoughts and everything over on Lycan's channel. I don't care. I really don't. I'm just, I mean, I just I'm not being rude or anything. I just got my own shit going on. I figured, you know what? let the women handle the women shit, and let me handle, the shit over here with the dudes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Stay in my lane basically on that.
Yeah.
I don't want to give these thoughts any attention. It's kind of like when Scorp Thought came over to my channels trying to start shit. I laid down the law to her. If you want to hang over here, you need to debate Mandy and shit. And we all know how that ended.
Right.
So, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's a woman that lies.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, this
Mandy's
is
never
from.
Mandy's
This
never
is
lied to
from
me or fed
Jones.
me a line of bullshit. So
This is she was psycho watching John's stream.
hang on, we'll enlarge that. Hang on, I want to read that.
Well,
So, out here all dolled up to steal more subs from another man's channel. YouTube thought I'd do it for the likes, shares, and subs. Give it to baby. Everybody sub to Mandy's channel. Make sure you're subbed. Get Mandy some more subs. Because everybody that subs, every time you sub, Alice thought Reese.
Oh yeah.
She
Looks
gets to
like
Reese
Kush is
really bad.
backstage.
That's my
Uh-oh.
boy.
Hey, what's up?
Hey Kush.
Hey, what's up?
Your woman's all over my my shit again, man.
It's not mine, man. I don't know where you're coming up with that. You're the one who's.
What's up, Goose?
Hey, what's up? Tampa Bay just lost real bad down here.
Oh,
man.
so the Texas guys that are there probably partying it up, huh?
Not so much. I haven't seen anybody really coming back yet.
Mm.
All the Tampa Bay fans are here really pissed. Like some woman, I just sat down and watched like the last 4 minutes of it, and I'm just like laughing at it. Looks like they're losing. I don't give a shit. And this chick's like laughing at me, and then her their boyfriend's like this big Bruno dude. He's like all getting pissed because she's laughing at me, and it's like, it's like I'm just laughing my ass off. Because I like totally don't give a shit. I haven't watched football in 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither, man.
I don't care nothing about it.
After they took a knee, I was done with the NFL.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and going back to your point, teeth or bullets. And I've told Kush and I've told the other guys that's why I don't make these hit pieces because I'm not wasting my energy on these people. They're closed-minded. You're not going to reach them. It's not doing anything for the community. Making a hit piece here, there, 45 videos about one person. I'm just not doing it.
You know what? I caught myself doing that. Iridium and Mandy were around when that happened. When I went after Angler and then Zach, and I had to catch myself. That no, I don't want to go. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm not making content fighting people anymore. That's not what my channel's about.
That's why, and yeah, I did the same thing. I took down the stuff about Angler that I did, especially after that interview with Billy. I mean, the jury's out on that guy as far as I'm concerned, still, but I did take that content down. I took down the other stuff I did about that whoever that guy was, Herp Seeker as well. I took that stuff down. Just because I want to focus on the interviews and stuff, and just doing like the chill streams and like Easy Eric Zumbrow just DM'd me. He wants to do a chess stream next week, so I'll set up one of those. So do that kind of stuff. But yeah, avoid dealing with these kind of people. I mean, they like promoting my content. I mean, they I mean, that Alice has been promoting me. I mean, she psycho watched one of my, I think it was my interview with one of the interviews I did with Minka, she watched it the whole time. I think she's just jealous of the fact that I was interviewing with Minka.
I think so too. I think she really wants you to get a motorcycle. She wants to be your motorcycle babe. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the interviews with,
See,
you
yeah.
did with Minka were really good. You know,
Yeah.
up until, you know, it kind of got foobarred with Hermit, you know. But, you know, looking past that, you know, I'm looking forward to, you know, more positive content. But that first back and forth, I think you were reviewing your video with Fem Sapien with her, you know, was really, really well done.
Oh yeah. We planned that out and everything. And that worked out really well because I had that encounter earlier that week, and then she mentioned that encounter that she had about the monkey branch, and we put those together, and I mean it made a really nice combination. And what I'm probably going to do is restream that clip that Fem Sapien made and just put it on my channel so that it's there if anybody wants to use it, because I've already been requested by other content users to use it. I'm like, yeah, use that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Because I ain't gonna get another chance to do that.
Right? No. I think that's why I put in the chat that you're probably never allowed on the panel again
No,
after
I
that
don't.
one.
Especially now, knowing what I know.
Right. And exposing what you did.
Yeah.
And even with
Yeah.
the mentorship content, you know, I mean, like my Crushing It video, please share that with friends, man. That's a huge positive right there. I mean, I just like after the day I had coming in and seeing that just made my day all worth it right there, man. I mean, it was awesome to see.
Oh, who is that? Sorry.
My Crushing It video on my channel. This
Oh.
dude Juan Carlos just scored a
Oh
job.
yeah, I
making
saw
six
that.
figures.
Yep.
Yeah. That
No,
dude,
that's a good feeling. I know what I myself know what that felt like.
yeah. I'm trying to encourage more of the guys to share those positives. You know, we need to hear that. We need to see that. You know, we need to show that, you know, other people that are coming into the community, you know, all this awesome shit that's going on. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, behind enemy lines. That's a good description.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to document my journey and share as much of it as I can as well.
Oh, we'll get into that Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday
Yeah.
the 22nd. Lord Jeremy Hirsch will be on my channel. We'll be doing a live stream together Sunday, 8 p.m. Central. And this is one of my regular mentorship streams. And we just basically have a
Cool.
back and forth, you know, and see what happens, see where it goes.
Yeah, I want to hear about the diving stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, it'd be a unique opportunity, that's for sure. Something that not a lot of people do.
Right. I know zero things about it.
Well, I know it pays like a mofo.
I know
Yeah,
it's dangerous. I know it's really dangerous.
depending on what you get into, yep.
You get big time hazard pay and shit off that too. You know,
If you
pay
go
to-
under 300 feet, yep.
Yeah, living in Texas, there's a lot of oil workers. I actually met a diver who, you know, once that worked out at the oil rigs. He was an underwater diver. Man, he made big ass money.
And you only work about 3-4 months out of the year.
Something like that, yeah. It's kind of like when I lived up in the Northwest around Tacoma and stuff. I was gonna get on my goal was to get out on a crab boat, but in order to do that, the union required you to go out on a canning boat for like 6 to 9 months. So you're out on the water for like 6 to 9 months working on a canning boat, and I didn't want to be stuck out on a canning boat. you know. So that kind of fell through.
When they say on the canning boat, what kind of fish are you catching on the canning boat? Is that like cod or?
Yeah, well, whatever the ships bring in, it's kind of like where, like, you've seen the boats on the on that show.
Deadliest catch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
deadliest
Deadliest
catch.
Catch. Yeah, they take their catch usually to these, like, huge ass freighters that have been, that have onboard canneries, and they offload their catch there, and it's processed in the ocean. So there's less waste and stuff on the shore. They
Mhm.
just dump all the waste right back into the ocean, just recycles it. But then they just pack it all up into a container and then bring it to shore and offload it and then go back out to sea. But they could be out in the ocean for like anywhere between 6 to 9 months, and the pay is good. You can go out for like 6 months and come back and make $5,000, or back then it was a lot of money, but they also deduct, everything that you use on the ship. They charge you for your room, they charge you for your food, they charge you for phone calls, and I don't know, it's just not for everybody. To me, it just wasn't for me. My girlfriend at the time didn't want me out at sea for that long of a period of time. So my life situation prevented me from doing that as well.
Hold on, guys, 1 second. Let's do a wake check. Did Outlaw fall asleep?
No, I'm still here.
Or Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I thought it sounded like somebody was sleeping.
No,
Oh,
I
yeah,
hear it
probably
too. I don't.
Yeah, what I hear like Darth Vader breathing or something in the.
I don't know what that is.
That's my e-cig. Sorry.
Oh.
Luke, I am your father.
It's not uncommon for people to fall asleep on these streams. It's happened many times.
Yeah. Oh, I've done it. I remember the first time I did it, man. I did a marathon stream for like 30 days straight, anywhere between 8 to 12 hours a day. And towards the end of it, I passed out on the stream.
Mhm.
I was so in log. I woke up and everything. Everybody was laughing at me and shit. It's funny. Memories.
Right. Well, Outlaw, what are you doing with your channel? Are you gonna do MGTOW Church eventually?
I don't know. See, everybody's wanting me to start streaming now, and I'm not set up yet for it. So we're trying to work on that. But yeah, we've got some ideas floating around for some series coming up. Hopefully, I'm fixing to close out the Red Pill Ghost Town series, so that one's fixing to be done and over with. That's pretty much it for right now.
Preaching the gospel.
Yes.
Oh,
Outlaw
yeah.
should be preaching the gospel.
Well, I get it honest, right? Come from a religious background down here in the South, so
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
yeah.
Amen.
If everybody wants to hear it, we'll try something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
I know me
definitely
and-
tune in.
I know
Just
me
be
and
sure,
Pope. Sorry, go ahead.
drop your links in the DMs and stuff, or in the Discords.
Okay. All right. If I can figure this out, I'm still kind of new to StreamYard, and even though I've been on 1,000 streams at this point.
Right.
Yeah,
I know me and Pope are planning on doing a Red Pill Bible series.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm.
So you're gonna take like verses of scripture and like connect
Yes, sir.
MGTOW, and yeah, that's awesome.
That'd be good.
Yeah, that Red Pill Ghost Town series wasn't as long as I would have liked it to have been,
Mm-hmm.
but luckily it's kind of short enough to where I would like to put it on like an audio book or something if I
Mhm.
can. I'm just not tech savvy, y'all. I'm a backwoods hillbilly. I don't know half the stuff.
How do you activate shorts? Because I don't have shorts on my channel. I could do
Um,
some shorts.
I don't know. I was just able. I'm just able to do them. I mean, I think YouTube automatically recognizes, like, if you do a short from your phone, it just automatically downloads it that way for me. And yeah, I've done a few shorts, and I noticed that if I do those, and most people notice that if you do a couple of those will get a lot of clicks right away. Those will get a lot of
Oh,
views
okay.
right away. Yep.
I thought you had to like have
uh,
like a certain amount of subscribers or something. So if I like
Maybe I
upload a
already
short to
did
my
at the
phone,
time when I did it. I don't know. I know to have
all
the
I no, go ahead.
I know to have the community tab, you had to have a certain amount of subs, and I got above that, and then I've been posting stuff on the community tab ever since. But um, as long as I've been able to do shorts.
yeah, they
The
recently just gave me a community tab because they thought I was going to commit suicide.
uh,
Mm-mm. What?
Yeah, yeah. I thought you guys knew about this.
Mm-mm.
I
uh-uh.
posted. I think I posted about it in the Discords. Okay, I guess not. Well, over on my BitChute channel, my old BitChute channel, I uploaded a video there called "When the Sun Turns Black," and there's some scenes of suicide on it. And basically, what it was is an anti-suicide video that I made along with with a song. Can't remember the artist's name, but the song's called "When the Sun Turns Black." It's a really good song. I worked on it and remodified the song a little bit, put a little more because it the way it was recorded, it sounded like shit, you know. So I put it through my audio editor and stuff, and increased the reverb on it, gave a little chorus and delay, you know, put a little saturation and gain on it. It sounds really nice, you know. And then I put it with a string of GIF videos. I was just random GIFs and stuff to put together this video. And I worked on this sucker for almost 2 days, you know, and finally got it uploaded to YouTube. Took 8 hours to upload to YouTube, and within like the first hour, you know, no, 30 minutes, I posted it. I guess the algorithm picked it up that there were scenes of suicide in it or something like that, and they canceled it. You know, it's a really dark song. It's a really dark video. You know, but there's a point in there. You know, like I said, There's always a takeaway in all my shit, you know. So there's a takeaway in that video, and I was going to use it as a stinger on the front of my channel, you know, but that didn't work out the way that I planned. I just never had time to go back and re-edit the video.
Hmm. About the only thing I can tell you is you have to verify the YouTube channel, I guess, through your phone. Because I didn't do that when I first created this channel, so I verified my phone number, and suddenly I had the community tab, uh, other perks. I guess the shorts were one of it. I don't really remember if I was making them before that, but all of a sudden the channel just opened up.
Yeah, when I first started my channel, you needed 1,000 subs to open up the community tab. And then last year they changed it to 500. And then more recently they lowered it again.
But right after I posted that video, they opened my community tab up. I guess it was kind of like a consolation that they offered me, because they even sent me an email for suicide prevention. You
Mm.
know,
Mm.
that was strange. I mean, if you care so much about suicide and everything, you know, I mean, they're pretty like, no, they're just strict about the type of content that you put up about it. You know, so
Hmm.
you just can't. You can talk about it, you just can't show scenes of it. And I guess some of the scenes, some of the gifs that I used in that video were just a little too dark for YouTube.
Yeah.
How's the vacation, Kush?
It's treating me pretty well. It's treating me pretty well. It's just it's been colder here than I like. It's been in the 50s, but it's going to warm up to 70 tomorrow, and then it's going to be close to 80s towards the end of the week. So I'll be spending some time on the beach and the surf if that happens. At the pool, definitely doing more time doing that kind of thing. And then after that, it'll probably be a nice steak night tomorrow night. And what else do I have planned? I don't know. Just gotta kind of let it take me where it takes me. Hamster may be down here as well. So I might
Oh,
meet
you
him.
gonna hook up with the hamster? Awesome.
Yeah, might hook up with him if he's down here. So he said he would be. He said he might be down here. I said, yeah, I'm game. So he said he's going to be in Orlando, which is only an hour away from here. So he wants to meet halfway or something. So whatever.
Nice.
Good times. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's warm in here here in Texas right now. I think the forecast is like 70s through the week.
Nice.
You know, yeah, it's nice and balmy out. You know, got a little bit of rain coming our way. It's supposed to cool down a little bit, but it's not going to freeze or anything. We're having a really mild winter this year. I think we're all fortunate.
Yeah, we've actually it's been mild where we are too. It hasn't been bad. We have essentially no snow, so which is really unusual for us, and I'm not complaining.
Me neither.
Mhm.
Nope.
Yeah, I hate the cold, man. You know, summer I can deal with because you can always get cool and cool yourself down in the summer. But in the wintertime, when you're cold, man, you're cold.
I've become just less tolerant of the cold as I get older. I grew up in Michigan. I've lived in Massachusetts, and I just get more and more intolerant of it.
Not
can't.
me, dude. It's an entirely different type of cold up where you're at, man. Up there, they call it the crimp because it clamps down on your ass and don't let go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I remember the first time I stepped off the bus. I was in Monroe, Michigan. You know, our car broke down. We had to take the bus the rest of the way up there, and we went to her grandparents' house, and I wanted to step outside and smoke a cigarette. It was really hot and humid in the house. They keep it. These houses are really insulated. They get really hot and humid inside. Well, anyway, I stepped outside, smoked a cigarette, and by the time I lit my cigarette and exhaled, I couldn't move. I'm like, what the hell? You know, and apparently, my pants froze to my legs. The humidity in my pants froze. I couldn't move.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
crap.
To
Oh, yeah.
like stagger back in the house to melt.
Oh yeah. Why do you? Oh yeah. It's
Holy
terrible.
shit.
It'll get so cold. It'll get so cold if you put beers out, they'll explode.
They'll
Oh,
explode.
yeah, dude.
Yes.
Yep.
Hey, brother Eric.
Hey, Eric.
How are
Hey,
you
Izzy.
guys?
For my life.
Hey, good mother. How are you?
Good. How are you, Eric?
Good, thanks. Just building on what that gentleman was saying. In the Civil War, they took Southern prisoners of war and took them up to the Great Lakes region, Illinois, Michigan, Montana.
Oh yeah.
Some of the guys in their personal diaries wrote, like one colonel who was a prisoner wrote in his diary that it was like being in the deepest infernos of hell, chains of ice.
Oh my God.
Way to describe it. I'm telling you, man, I'll tell you what, Texans don't know what cold is. I mean, that big freeze that we had when the power knocked out, it got pretty damn cold, but it ain't nothing like a Michigan crimp.
Nah,
I'm telling you, man.
they do that in
I mean,
Oklahoma too.
You can feel it literally just suck the heat out of your body.
Oh, and it's like, yeah, like even in New England, it stays somewhat humid. Like more of the time, it'll get a little bit warmer, but like the worst is like Minnesota this time of year.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
It's just like, I mean, it literally, it will suck the soul out of your body It will literally
That's where I
suck.
live.
It's because it's so flat up there when it comes off that when that wind comes off that
It's just-
off the Great Lakes. 'Cause,
It
let me
scares
see,
me.
Monroe is right on the edge of Lake Erie, just south of Detroit, and that wind comes off that lake through the towns, and it just, man, dude, it's unreal.
And
I
the
live
thing that's
in-
You gotta
scary,
experience it for yourself.
the thing you don't realize too, like in Minnesota in that cold, when it's like minus 20 out, it was like minus 20. Just that was the temperature, minus 20. That was a wind chill. And it was minus 20. And the thing you don't understand, the humidity, so you get freaking dehydrated bad.
Yes.
And you don't
Mm.
realize that. And you think, oh, the cold, I don't get dehydrated. You could get like dangerously dehydrated in that weather.
I live in Minnesota, Kush.
I don't envy you.
I've lived in Minnesota most of my natural life, other than my time in the desert.
I have family who've lived there all their lives. I have a very important customer up there, and I hate traveling there. I hate it
Oh.
there.
The coldest I've ever seen it is negative 65 before the wind chill.
No.
Yeah, that was within the last few years, right?
It was about 10 years ago, yeah.
Sounds like I need to stay put in Alabama.
Yeah. Well, I left New York because I was sick and tired of shoveling snow. I wanted to retire to a place where I wasn't where the sun was doing my snow removal.
Yeah.
If
Right.
it snows down here, it's gone in half a day.
But the thing with Alabama weather is you got to worry about tornadoes and it's Russian roulette weather pretty much. You may be hot one day.
I'd still take it over New York weather, New York winter. Especially,
You may be
especially the driveway I had to shovel.
you may be scalding hot one day, blistering cold the next, tornado and raining.
Yeah, no, it's
So in
crazy.
other words, if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes, it'll change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
That's what we
Well,
say here in Texas.
That's what Polska told me when I went to Illinois for my daughter's graduation. It was like 40 degrees, you know, somewhat sunny. And then he goes, don't worry, it'll change. I thought he was joking. By the time the graduation was over, it was like 10 degrees and it was like freaking with the wind chill. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh, Chicago's another, man. Oh, it gets so freaking cold there. The wind, man, it just gets so freaking cold. Oh my God.
I was just fixing to say that's where the Windy City nickname comes from, right?
Yes.
Oh yes, and it's just terrible.
Mm. Oh, and hurricanes. You got to worry about hurricanes sometimes here.
We can get them where we get them where we are too.
Yeah, we get them up in the Northeast.
We had Hurricane Irene back in 2011.
Mm.
That actually flooded my office. My office smelled like cat piss for a month.
Oh,
Good
God.
grief.
Yeah, it was terrible. They had to take all my furniture out. I was in exile for a month. It was just awful.
That sucks.
Yep.
How did you do with that Superstorm Sandy?
We didn't get too bad from that. Nothing like New Jersey or New York. It really kind of brushed us. We had a little bit of light wind and rain, and even like just south of us, like customers that were like in Danbury, Connecticut, they got hit by it. They were without power for like a week.
I was lucky. My house where I used to live in New York, we were on the same grid as the Islip MacArthur Airport. So we lost power for about 30 minutes, and then it was back on because, you know, the airport had to have power to get, you know, supplies in and stuff.
Yeah.
But we had all our neighbors coming over because if you cross the street, they're on a different grid than us. But we had our neighbors coming over, showering, cooking food and stuff. I felt
Yeah.
bad for them.
No,
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I can't imagine being in New Orleans when that one hit. What was it, back in 2005?
Oh yeah.
Katrina.
Katrina.
Yeah.
And I remember I was delayed to go down to Houston 2 weeks later because Rita hit after that. And I remember I had a business trip down there and had to wait for that. And I had a hell of a time getting a hotel reservation in Houston because they still had all kinds of refugees from New Orleans and the ones they couldn't send to Baton Rouge, they were sending up there to Houston. So I had a hell of a time finding a hotel. I remember that whole week.
Well, did you guys ever get to see the pictures of the Six Flags down there in New Orleans after all that happened?
Yeah, it looked like a wasteland, right?
Yeah.
It was unreal how high that water got, because you could see where the roller coaster was at, how high that water went up. It was a few stories up.
Yeah, well, New Orleans is underwater. I mean, it's under the water level. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I was there after Katrina hit. It looked like somebody dropped a bomb on the city. I mean,
Oh yeah.
literally.
Yeah, I've seen some of those parts too.
I mean, you could see the fires and the smoke and everything from the city, from the distance and everything, and it was kind of surreal. It looked like something out of a freaking movie, like somebody dropped a nuclear bomb on the city. And I went down there with a friend of mine. His girlfriend was stuck down there. She couldn't get out of her neighborhood. Her house was pretty up high. It was like up on a hill, but there's 3 feet of water all the way around for like a half mile, and she didn't want to walk through it because she was afraid of alligators and shit. So being him, being the blue pill simps we are, we're gonna go save the thought, trudged through about, I'd say probably about a quarter mile of 3 foot, wading through that water and shit to get to her house. We had waders on and everything. We got to her and put her in a boat and tugged her ass out of there. It was insane, man.
Yeah, I remember that. I was here in Florida the week before Hurricane Katrina hit, and just as the arms, they just passed over the tip of Florida, and I remember seeing that as I left. And then the week later, it hit New Orleans, and that's when it picked up all the strength. And it was weird. I had been in New Orleans like only a month before that, and like everybody was like all worried that I was stuck down there when it happened and stuff. And like, yeah, like the whole convention center, the Morial Convention Center down there, where I had the trade show, that all got flooded. And I remember seeing all that stuff in the news, and I'm like, holy crap! I was just down there a month ago for a trade show, and it's like all flooded out. And like, and since I've been down there, like in 2016, I remember I met this one woman there who was like from the 9th Ward, and she was in the Superdome when the whole thing passed through, and she said it was just like insane, like people getting raped and all kinds, stabbed and all kinds of stuff going in. There was no power in the place.
Oh, good grief.
Well, yeah, Louisiana, the people that went from Louisiana to Texas, Texas was absolutely inundated with crime waves because all the people that went back had committed like murder, rape, like you said. It was insanity. It was insanity.
Well, when that tornado hit me back in 2011 and down here in Alabama, I couldn't tell you at the looting and the just stealing that was going on in these people's properties. People would wait till it like got nightfall because there wasn't no power nowhere. You couldn't see nothing. They'd go in there with flashlights and stuff and just start toting stuff off, stealing copper. Anything that wasn't nailed down and red hot. They were just in these houses stealing stuff left and right.
Yeah, a few people got shot. I remember reading about that.
Mm-hmm.
Some homeowners killed looters.
as they
I
should.
remember. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
As they should.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They weren't. The homeowners weren't arrested or anything, but you know, it happens.
No, they shouldn't be arrested.
No.
No, if you're in a situation like that, and a shit hit the fan situation like that, if you're looting, it's your ass. In my opinion. I mean, if somebody breaks into my house trying to steal something, man, they're dead. They're probably not going to make it out of here alive.
No, same here.
No,
Right.
that's a bad move if you do that to me.
Kind of like the riots that happened after George Floyd up in my neck of the woods. There was tanks parked on the street.
I got a 12 gauge shotgun right here full of slugs. It took a lot, but, I'm blasting.
Yep, my Kimber 1911's usually always on my side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That event right there showed me how evil humanity could really be against one another.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And that type of situation, in a lawless situation, don't depend on the government to come save you. While people were getting robbed, raped, and murdered, the cops are going around confiscating little old ladies' little 22 pistols. Did y'all see that video?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, there's a video. Yeah, there's a video out there when they were going door to door asking people to surrender their firearms, and they asked this lady if she had any guns, and she's like, "Well, I only have this little pistol," and she showed it to them because they asked, Then they tackled her to the floor and handcuffed her and took her gun. I don't know if they arrested her or not, but they took her only means of defense away from her, and that's the federal government right there that mandated that.
So brave.
Yeah, so if the government in a shit defense situation, if the feds come or law enforcement come along asking you if you have any weapons, say no, and do you have a warrant?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure in a situation like that, they'll be like, well, they'll say we don't need a warrant. It's an emergency situation.
That's not no, it's not.
No, I understand that.
No,
remember what they Yeah,
even
remember
though
what
there's
they
an
did.
emergency they have an emergency situation to deal with. There's no emergency situation here at my house, officer. Nobody called you. Nobody requested your assistance. Get the fuck out of here.
Remember what they did in Boston for that when they were looking for the marathon bomber. They went door to door and went into every house, whether you wanted to let them in or not. They kicked in the doors.
I don't give a shit if it's emergency or not. I'm going to sue. I'm going to win. I'm going to retire comfortably on the county's dime.
Absolutely.
Never open your fucking door to law enforcement without a fucking warrant. Not unless you need their assistance. This is the whole thing. Everybody thinks because cops knock on your door that you're obligated to fucking answer. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
There's no fucking law anywhere in any county, state, or federal law on the books
Unless they have a warrant.
Your fucking door because a cop knocks on it.
Unless they have a warrant to come into
as
your
a
house.
as a former officer, I can confirm that.
Well,
there
if
is
the
no.
cops want to talk to me that bad, they can go get a warrant and kick in my door and come talk to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I've nothing personal, against, look, I respect cops and sheriff's deputies and stuff and what they do. I have several that are my friends, but I've also had, instances where I've had bad experiences with some bad apple cops. Even one deputy that came up on our property, he was scoping things out. He was stealing shit. And he ran into my dog who just had puppies up under the porch. She came out from under there and tore him a new ass.
Good.
And when my mom came home, there were like a dozen cop cars and animal control and shit. And they gave my mom a ticket for dog at large. My mom's really good friends with the county judge. My mom used to be in politics here in the county and stuff, so she knows everybody. And the deputy couldn't say what he was doing on the property. He had no reason to be on the property and everything, so the ticket was dismissed. Come a year later, this motherfucker, there's a big ad in the paper from the adjacent county, about this deputy in this other county who was found with a bunch of stolen merchandise, and that was the same deputy that my dog attacked. It was awesome. She was a good dog.
Wow.
But yeah, I've had deputies roll up in here swinging dick like their shit don't stink, and I tell them that story. It straightens them out pretty quick. Just because you got a badge and a gun, don't mean you're not capable of committing a crime, deputy.
I think the one that still messes me up is that one that I've seen floating around in the Discord, and I think Gone with John did a stream about it. It's about this police force in Alabama where this chick was
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
This Stott police officer and all these guys were like having all these like orgies with her, like while they were on duty and shit. Like just like
Yeah, and they
like,
were married. Yeah.
Oh, it was just like so gross. Oh my God. It's just like I mean that's the kind of stuff that just gives law enforcement such a bad name. My God.
Oh yeah.
They're human.
I can tell you it goes on a lot. A lot of the freaking female officers do that in New York. It's not.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It's not anything. It's not surprising. We used to catch. We caught one lieutenant doing the gay thing on duty, going to gay bars on duty. He ended up getting forced to retire.
It's like Outlaw dropped out.
Outlaw dropped out.
Yeah. I'm about to drop out, man. I'm tired. I had a long day. I've been up since like 3 a.m.
Good mother. How are you?
She's muted. She's muted or asleep or I don't know.
I gotta plug in my earphone.
Oh, there she is.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was just making a sandwich.
Oh, sorry.
Say that again.
I was listening to you guys. Hashtag why women shouldn't be cops. Yeah.
Mandy making a sandwich.
I got snacky listening to your guys' stories.
Awesome.
Pretty good, Eric.
Good.
Just,
Good. Excellent.
Just figuring out what to do with my life, I guess. I'm a little burned out on warning people about crazy bitches and then have them do the exact opposite that they should be doing. And then complaining about the outcome.
Look, I know you've put more than anybody I've ever seen as of late, into this. I mean,
Yeah.
on your own dime, going to 21 Studios and bringing back, some powerful guests, who I have yet to reach out to. I'm actually gearing up, to fix this computer and get better internet and everything, so I'll be able to do a lot more, than what I have been. That's the other thing that's bothered me about coming back, because I know I'm limited currently with what I can and can't do. Other channels have more, bandwidth than I do to do something that's going to grab people's attention. I also understand that, and we've talked about the difference between MRA and MGTOW before. It's kind of like, our approach is different from what they're doing. It doesn't mean we don't support what they're doing. you know.
Right.
But there there are men that are coming into MGTOW that are not in the right frame of mind to engage in that. They've already put out everything that they've had into it, you know, and these guys are asking them to put out even more, you know. There's a healing process, and that's what MGTOW, is or should be. This is something I'm trying to bring to light. This is something that Iridium and Contriver are trying to bring to light. That in order to change the gynocentric landscape, we need to start at its core, and that's with showing men how to change themselves for the better and how to heal themselves. I've been through it. Iridium's been through it. Several of us have been through it. I understand that you think that you want to solve the problem. You want all the men to get together, repeal the 19th, and immediately solve the problem. It's not going to happen that overnight, Mandy. It takes
Well,
time.
I know, and I feel like I've made some pretty good connections to solve problems that I hear are problems on a consistent basis. I mean, Carnell Smith is a really good resource, like really, really good, when it comes to all the legal, divorce court, family court, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that I've located quite a few resources. I thought I would be helpful in trying to help men distinguish, what's toxic and what's not, because a lot of
You have.
guys don't I don't think have the experience or the boundaries set in place to even identify a crazy bitch like out the gate. So maybe I thought that would help avoid some of these problems too, but
That's actually a good idea.
Look how far you've come since we've met. When I met you, I think you said that you were only around for like 6 months and stuff, and you're still learning all this stuff.
yeah.
And so you've been here for quite some time, but look how far you've come. Look what you've accomplished thus far. I can understand you feel burnout and stuff, and this is something that what I'm going to recommend to you is the same thing I would just recommended to Red Pill Ragers. Get off the internet for a few weeks. Take a vacation, take some time for yourself, get clear, then come back, and you'll have more energy than you can imagine.
You should play chess.
Yeah. Play some chess.
But Bullets, my message hasn't changed since the beginning. It's like it's the universities, it's the psychology field, it's women, it's
We're there with you.
I know.
We understand that, but that's more for MRA and for you to handle than it is for MGTOW. Men
Yeah.
who are trying to heal and rebuild their lives,
Right.
being decimated by the gynocentric landscape and the gynojudicial system.
Yeah.
We're still losing brothers. The male suicide rate hasn't declined since I've came into the community. It's actually risen, and that has me greatly concerned. And we as a online community
Mhm.
need to hold other channels accountable for that, for not bringing that to light. That make that their message, the way they're the way, what's the word I'm looking for? The way they're presenting MGTOW hasn't helped men, or lower the male suicide rate.
I don't know. I mean, there was a local suicide here. A young man in mechanical engineering that learned, the day before fucking graduation that he wasn't going to graduate. And this is a young Asian dude. And
Yeah.
the shit that I talk about that happens on the university level impacts that kind of shit. I mean, the mental health field as a whole is failing men.
Mhm.
It's actually destroying men. Like these women in the mental health field are destroying men on purpose. Like that's why there is a lack of help. That's why I had a stream yesterday, the day before, where I shared some more resources that I found for men's mental health. So I
Well,
mean, I'm trying to
even
find
the
all the people working on it.
even the ones that want to help, they're always their main go-to is head meds.
Right.
You know, it's I don't know. Sometimes I think the help is worse than the cure is worse than the disease.
Right. Well, something this psychologist was talking about is having a place for men to go to be able to talk about things. It is kind of a rare commodity. So I wonder if that's part of what I offer, hosting this platform where men can get together and just talk about the things. I mean, talk therapy is good for men, I know. Like talking
You've
with
done a lot.
like-minded individuals with the same experiences, I know, is good.
You've done a lot. You've come a long way. You know, um, e- even though a lot of there's still like it's trying to get through that red pill blindness that so many guys have OD'd on, and turned it into an ideology. It's going to take them a while to come out of it, and I know a lot of them still try to, like, they need an outlet for their aggression. They focus that aggression too much on women and on gynocentrism, in my opinion. I think with this
but
new direction mentorship thing, what I'd like to do, what I'm trying to promote, is put that energy towards something more positive, you know,
yeah,
like
but
career education.
when you have, somebody that's been egregiously abused by women, you're going to have
Mhm.
that. And that's why I'm
Yeah.
like wondering where that outlet is for guys
Uh,
to be able to do that.
it takes time to recover. You know that
Yeah.
there's nothing. It's like I said before. There's nothing I can do for a red pill rager, any more than there was anything I could do for myself when I was a red pill rager. You know, you have to. It's just a phase you have to get over. And hopefully you can come out alive on the other side. You know, because a lot of men have taken themselves out. We've lost a lot of brothers. And other men have, let it weigh on their health, either through drugs, alcohol, or just ignoring their health, not going to the doctor, and not taking care of themselves and just letting themselves go, and giving up on life. That's not
Yeah,
very tough.
the manosphere saved my life about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, it and at the same time, it almost killed me too. I mean, I went through what bullets did too. Um, I mean, it took its toll on me through me having to find an outlet before I could find this place. Um, it the red pill rage took its toll on me. That's why I get upset when I see it, because I know what it is. When I see it in someone who's in their young 30s, for example, I'm seeing myself when I was that age, and I'm seeing that same level of rage, and that's not going to lead to good things. Um, and when I'm afraid, what I see in certain individuals with the rage is it's going to cause them to manifest and act out in ways in the real world that's going to
Hmm.
um, cause them problems, and that's going to be on them. As far as I'm concerned, that's on you. If you can't control your rage like that, if you're not adult enough to learn how to control that, I mean, you have to learn to work through that. You have to learn to, in my opinion, understand that you live in a society where the majority of people don't agree with you. I've had to accept that, and you know, and you're out on this, you know, you're out on this. I get the sense that some of these red pill ragers are out on some freaking crusade somewhere. They're out on this crusade to convert all normies or do them in or do whatever,
Right.
and they're only gonna end up yeeting themselves. And at the end of the day, I don't feel too badly about it, honestly, because if you can't get past that, I don't know what to tell you. You have to learn to elevate above that. You have to learn to elevate above this. You know, women are bad. All women are bad. Thou shalt not talk to women because you're a MGTOW. What kind of thinking is that?
Brainwash.
I'm and am I missing something?
No.
Well, that's what I mean by people coming in putting their rules on you. That's not how
No.
MGTOW works.
No.
You're supposed. It's me and you already. We talked about having your own code. That's what MGTOW is. You need to make your own code. I mean, if somebody's coming in and trying to put their code on you and define and make you live by their rules as to what they define a MGTOW as, that person is just gaslighting you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've dealt with gaslighting all my life, so
Right.
I know it when I see it, and yeah.
I've been brainwashed like that too. I mean, I bought into the bullshit. We don't talk to women or associate with women or anything. I mean, there was times before I met my friend Lori. I wouldn't give any woman a time of day, even in my real life. I just didn't talk to and associate with them, or anything at all. I mean, it's like if I would have met Mandy back then, I would have ran her ass off. Everybody would. We would all like troll her channel and shit. Flag her channel, get her and get her taken down because we were all raging, and following these stupid rules, that looking back on it, I don't even know where the hell all that shit came from.
Yeah. So
I don't know if it would have worked though, Bullets. I mean, that's what the crazy bitches have been trying to do to me for 2 years,
Oh,
and
it
it hasn't
would've
worked.
It would have worked.
Well, I don't know.
I agree with that. Each person, each man going his own way goes his own way that suits him.
There were thousands of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I might do it different than Kush. I might do it different than Outlaw. I might do it different than New Bullets. But it's everyone does it how it suits them, and I think that's a good thing.
I regret it. It's one of my biggest regrets. Was going through that. Like even my buddy Jack. He'll pop up in my channel every now and then. He has his regrets of that too. A few of the guys, that I still know them. They still hang around Lycan Theory and Lori's channels and stuff. But yeah, we all regret going through that, and we've moved on to better things.
Anger's a
I-
powerful emotion.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, when you're in an echo chamber full of raging dudes that are raging, that got you raging on the same thing they're raging about, yeah, it's brainwash. You can get blinded by it. It distorts the message of what MGTOW philosophy, lifestyle philosophy actually is. It's more of like, you're part of like, a gang more than you are a community,
That's a good way to put it.
yeah, and it's not like they're leaders or anything. That's always been my understanding. There are no leaders. It's not, because then it starts becoming a cult. It starts becoming, and it's not a club either. I think that's something That's something that I spoke to Rusty Rivers about this, and he made a point, and I totally agree. This isn't like some like men's club. It's not like the guys on the Titanic sitting there smoking their pipes, you know, by a blazing fire. It's not that kind of thing either. I mean, it's not that really either. It's a place where men can express themselves per se, and where men can be taught the perils of the world, and that's really what I really want to do is teach younger men just the perils and why I avoided it back in the days. I saw the writing in the wall back then, when a lot of my other friends didn't, when they were told they were going to do what they were supposed to do, when I didn't do what was supposed to do. And I'm saying that's not, I want to be the one who tells people that no, that's not something you're not supposed to do. That's something you can do if you want to. And it's an option that's certainly open to you. And it's one you shouldn't be ashamed of. And that's the thing I felt a lot, was shame and guilt for making those choices. And nobody should feel that way, in my opinion. Nobody should be put through that, in my opinion. And I don't think the red pill ragers do a whole lot to help that.
You know, interesting that you mentioned that, you know, they're like looking for leaders in that community, because in my community, when I came in and when I was in the HOM and when the RPC crap was going on, everybody was like, you know, trying to push me. They you know, openly saying, you know, we want you to be our leader. And I'm like, you know, it kind of, I didn't want to be their leader. That's the way that I explain it to them. I'm not here to be your leader. I'm here to teach you how to be your own leader. You know, that's when the MGTOW mentorship philosophy started. When I started, these young men that came in that were asking me for help and guidance opened my eyes to what MGTOW truly is. You know, that MGTOW is mentorship. It's mentoring your brothers to be better men, or how to be better mentors, you know. But and it's kind of like they didn't like that response, which is kind of weird in my opinion. They looked up at all these Ivory MGTOW Tower channels, you know, as their leader, like TFM, Misandry Today, Chris Cantu, Howard Dare. They were looking at them and calling them, you know, the leaders of the community. I didn't like that rhetoric. I didn't like that. I think it was misleading, you know, and I think it would have been different, because I mentioned this. I think I talked to Howard Dare about this. You know, never really had a chance to talk to Chris Cantu about it, you know, but to basically remind everybody what MGTOW is to learn how to become your own leader. It's okay if you want to follow somebody for a while, you know, you like their stuff, and, you know, and you're learning from that person, you're gaining value from it and everything. But the whole idea of MGTOW is to become your own leader, live by your own code, you know, and better your life, you know. But it went in the total opposite direction, into the red pill rager echo chambers. You just could, I don't know why they just didn't accept the program. They just wouldn't want to listen to it, because they treated it like an ideology.
Where it's more of a open forum for the free exchange of ideas.
Well, they put rules on each other constantly, and they put each other through struggle sessions. You know, they call you incel, blue pill simp, or whatever. You know, I mean, if you didn't measure up to them, if they catch you talking to a woman or like simping to a woman and shit, you know, you're gonna get shoved through a struggle session. And that's when I saw Contriver being put through one over on True Blood's channel with a couple other dudes and everything.
That was all Alice, by the way. She was behind that one.
Yes.
She's still working on it.
Yes.
And that's what kind of pissed me off the most about it. I'm like, really, dudes, you're literally white knighting for the Bastard Factory that I'm trying to tell you to stay away from. Oh.
And that I truly don't understand at all. Like why anyone would take that woman seriously on any level at all.
Well, it took the guys from her little group to infiltrate the MGTOW space to get that done.
Oh.
So
Looks like Bullets dropped out.
I think he'll be back. He might be
Yep.
having some technical difficulties, but no, like it's the Gulag petting zoo dudes that were behind that one.
Gulag petting zoo dudes. Who are those?
Like Cybertoxin,
Oh, okay.
Angry Snowman, Truism, Trey.
I don't really know any of those dudes.
Yeah, they don't
know.
come to your channel.
No, they don't go to your channel.
So
Because
it's just-
I visited with Good Mother and I talk to Good Mother every once in a while. I've gotten a few dings by those people.
Mm.
So
Right, the
I know
PUAs. The
yeah, I
PUAs
know
trying to
exactly what
tell
you're talking about.
you guys, trying to tell you guys how to be MGTOW.
Yeah.
Does not make any sense.
It's funny. Like they just
Well,
ignore it.
it's funny
It's-
until it actually works, and
Yeah.
then it causes infighting, and then it's not as funny.
No, I know what you mean. I know
Yep.
what you mean.
Yeah.
No, it's just like the betas calling us toxic. I mean, we're the enemies of everybody.
Yeah.
That's what I get. I find funny. Like I have family members, like like my cousins are angry I'm not doing anything to engage with the opposite sex, or oh, you should get married, you should do this, you should do that. I was like, no, I'm very happy. I have a house, I have a life, I'm doing what I like to do, I'm traveling. Why mess it up, right? And
I'm in the same boat.
yeah, and sometimes like it's almost like they're I'm not going to say jealous, but maybe resentful is the word to use.
Oh, I totally agree. My work colleagues are totally, I think, resentful of the fact that I get to wear nice clothes, nice jewelry, have a nice car, have a house, just to, have a very simple life. I go home, when I go home to a quiet house. These people don't have that. They're broke. Their lives are just cluttered with BS, and they literally have to come into my office now for just about anything. Even when I was down here on vacation, I get a phone call from one of the guys here asking me, "Oh my God, how when I cross the border into Canada, when I'm traveling into Canada, what do I say?" Because if you tell people in Canada when you cross the border, if you tell them you're working, they get real snotty and say you need a work visa. So you always just say it's a sales call. That way they'll let you in. You just say you're going on a sales visit. And I'm like, yeah, just tell them that. But like everybody has to go to me now because I'm the only one who can like think with a halfly clear mind anymore. Because these guys, their minds are so cluttered with so much other BS. And I got fed up with it. When I come back, like from the New Year's break, I'm in a good mood. I don't drink at all, and these guys are all hungover, miserable as shit, and I'm just like, what the hell, man? It's like, leave me alone. It's like, and you can tell, I think they're just almost resentful. They're like, well, did you spend a lot of money over Christmas? And I'm like, no, I didn't really at all.
Yeah, my Christmas bills were, I think, $100. I sent a couple of friends of mine wine baskets.
Yeah,
That's it.
well, I just donated like cash apps and stuff to people's channels here and stuff like that. That's what I did. It was about that. Yeah.
Yeah, they get mad at you because you're not doing your civic duty to society. You're not handing your wallet over to a woman.
No, no, no. Yeah, they certainly do get. A lot of people do get resentful of the fact that I
Yeah, I
don't
think
do that.
I agree with you, Kush. I think resentful is the way to put it. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
It's not jealousy. It's
No.
resentment.
Yeah.
Well, the purest form of jealousy is resenting you. Yeah. When you
Yeah.
can't stand somebody because they have a better life than you, I mean, it's coveting and it's resentment together. I mean, it's basically wrath and jealousy rolled into one.
Yeah. Well, it's just
Fucking pang. Sorry.
not sure where that came from.
That's good.
Thanks, Pang, for that.
That was a good. I needed that chuckle.
Right?
Yeah.
Science. Trust the science. Oh, man.
That's
That
our
reminds
science
me of-
lesson for the day.
Hermit's Trust the Science meme. Oh, that was the best one ever.
Which one was that?
Oh, man.
Is that the one with Harvey Weinstein? It's just a little pinch. It won't hurt a bit.
I think so.
Yeah, that was
It was
hilarious.
Oh, man.
Yeah, next thing you know, they're pulling gummy worms out of your veins.
What?
Oh, yeah. Old Charlie 19.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know anything about. I don't follow that shit. I just blame it on women. You know, that whole thing, all of it. Everything was going good with Fauci, and then that Dr. Bricks came in with that scarf, and everything went downhill.
well, what still amazes me is like when I flew down here to Tampa, the number of people still wearing those stupid diapers on their faces.
Well, that's how you know who's a sheep and who's and who to avoid.
And how the majority of them who are still wearing them were women.
Mm-hmm.
The vast majority of them who were
Yep.
wearing them were still women,
Yep.
and scared to death, I guess, that something's gonna get them.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Terrified little tyrants, aren't they?
Even knowing all the science now points that the mask doesn't do a thing. Nothing.
They never did.
No,
They never did.
but
Well,
they've been so.
3% reduction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a bumper sticker said, "If you're wearing your mask in your car, I assume it's so you don't lick your windows."
Ugh.
I think the next big thing you're going to start seeing is a demand for pure blood.
Well, I have lots of O negative pure blood.
Yeah, me too.
Me three.
Yep.
Universal
Wait.
donors.
So you guys are O neg too. I wonder if there's something genetic that makes us more defiant as O negs.
There might be
That's a
some
good question.
validity to that. It is genetic, obviously.
Right? Oh. Uh-oh. What happened? World premiere died suddenly. Frank came up and left a thing in the back. Kush, what blood type are you?
I'm actually AB.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a rare one though, too.
Yeah, that's rare. Yeah, AB
Yeah,
minus.
AB negative is the rarest one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Father Sanders, too.
Yeah, I got all kinds of weird things. I got green eyes. I'm left-handed. I'm all kinds of weird.
As a left-handed cop I worked with used to say, left-handed people are the only ones in the right state of mind.
Well, the problem is, I make myself an easy criminal, because I mean, if a detective knows I'm left-handed, they've already eliminated 90% of the population.
That's true.
Yep.
What is this?
There was an
Frank-
old.
Go ahead.
There was an old movie. I think it's called A Company of Wolves. But one of the things to be considered a werewolf was if you were born on Christmas Day or you were left-handed. That was one of the tests that the village would do. It's pretty funny.
I have trichromatia. I got 3 colors in my eyes.
What's it? Green and amber are like the 2 rarest eye colors.
Yep, and I got green on the outside of my eyes, blue in the middle, and brown on the very inside next to my iris.
Oh, wow. Were you close to being a twin or something, did they think?
Nope. No, I just have a pretty unique bloodline.
Nice.
Pretty unique bloodline, huh?
Yep. Got a lot of royalty in my pedigree.
All right, Bullets, have a good night. Yeah, he's having technical difficulties.
Have a good night.
I don't know what Frank left us. What is this, Frank? He dropped it in the private chat. Is it a movie or a video? How long is it? Oh, it has ads, whatever.
Howdy, Frank. How are you?
Holy shit, Frank. It's 1 hour and 8 minutes long. Well, here. I'm going to leave it in the chat. It must be important if Frank brought it. And I will watch it later. Yeah,
Shout out to Frankie. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, Frank.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Lord Jeremy, you and Bullet's discussion on Sunday. That'll be good.
Yeah, it usually goes for about 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Kush, when is your and Eric's next chess stream?
I'll probably make that because I have Monday with Bandit.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have Wednesday. I have with a K-Plan young guy. I have that interview, so it'll be like Tuesday or Thursday, something like that.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, I'll make it like Tuesday or Thursday, something like that, or maybe Friday. I don't know. And then the week after that, I maybe I know I'm traveling the week of February 6th. I'm down in Connecticut for a week for training, for customer training. So my travel schedule is gonna start increasing more. So like you guys have noticed, my streaming has dropped off a little bit. This is gonna be more like the norm. The amount of streaming that I'm doing now is gonna be more like a norm. Like what I was doing here over Christmas and early into January is not normal because I wasn't doing a lot of traveling and stuff. But as my work and activity picks up, I will just not have as much time. Simple as that.
Now, Kush, this travel stuff for work, is that a good thing? Are you happy to be traveling again, or?
I actually am happy to be traveling again. I enjoy being out of the office.
Oh, so good, man. Good for you.
Yeah, yeah. Nope. I enjoy opportunities to be out of the office because it's nice because as a MGTOW I can just kind of come and go as I please out of my house, and it gives me a big advantage. And plus, it saves me a lot of money when I travel, as the company picks up all the expenses. So I don't pay for shit when I eat or anything, and stay at hotels, and I just rack up all kinds of points. Like I got free stay down here the whole week.
Nice.
Hotel
That's
stay.
good.
Yep.
Well, if you're ever in the Tulsa region, shoot me a message. We'll grab
Tulsa region.
We'll
I
grab
haven't been to Oklahoma in a while, but I was there for like 3 weeks straight to Oklahoma City. There for 3 weeks. It was pretty crazy. Remember when I was there one time, the one guy got sprayed by a skunk because he was drunk, chasing a skunk around a dumpster. So that was one of my Oklahoma experiences. Then another experience I had with a guy in Oklahoma, a guy like got pissed at a guy. He gave him the wings, and he called the guy at like 2:00 in the morning and said, "How'd you like the hot wings, motherfucker?" And the guy got fired on his day off. He got fired on his last day on his day off.
Oh God.
I mean, it's like straight out of the movie Friday. I mean, you gotta be one stupid motherfucker.
Wow.
Yep. Can't make it up.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But no, I don't normally make it out to Oklahoma. I'm going to be in Portland, Oregon in April, Chicago the week after that in April. I'm going to be out of the office half the month in April. And then I go to France in late February, early March. And then
that should be cool.
Yeah, go to our parent company there for a week. So it's been 4 years now since I've been there. So, and then I'm gonna stop in Amsterdam because normally we fly through there. I'm gonna stop in Amsterdam and spend a few days of vacation there. Because I've flown through as many times as I've flown to that city. I've never spent any time there. So, and I want to check out the local fair. So,
Yeah, get some beer and pretzels.
not so much pretzels. I want to smell the flower there. The tulips that they have there that are legal.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
A quick change of subject. Has anyone seen that new Martin Luther King statue in Boston that was unveiled?
Nope.
No.
No.
Okay. You have to look it up, good mother.
Okay.
Depending on what angle you look at it from, it looks like a giant wiener. It looks like Dr. King had elephantitis of the balls and penis. It's actually a mockery. It's disgusting. And so many people now are like, this has to be torn down. They spent $10.5 million on it.
$10.5 million?
Yes. Paul Joseph Watson was right. Modern art is absolute garbage.
Yeah, it is. Actually, at that 21 convention, this guy Arthur Kwan Lee, he's an artist, and he talks about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's absolutely terrible.
It is.
Hell is it?
It's supposed to be their arms embracing. You have to wait. There's one angle. It literally looks like shit. It looks like the two hands are holding up a giant cock. It's freaking hilarious. It's freaking hilarious. Decoy Voice, his channel has a thing on it. I think this is just like about the article. That's a little bit better picture of the real graphic side, but wait till you see it.
What channel do I look at?
Look at a guy goes by the name of Decoy Voice. MLK statue looks like a giant, and then it. It's hilarious.
Wait, Decoy Voice? MLK
Voice.
statue?
Decoy Voice, VOICE.
Oh, voice.
Oh, I see. Oh my God, that looks terrible.
And it's just awful. I mean, what a and then it's awful. Right there, that's
What
the
the-
angle.
What the fuck?
It literally looks like she's holding up a giant wang.
It's
And that's-
ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
People were just destroying it on Reddit and Twitter and everything. And now it's gotten such a backlash that people are actually looking to have it taken down. But that statue right there costs $10.5 million in a city that's overrun with homeless people.
Right.
Well, at least they're properly virtue signaling.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This one black woman on Twitter, she wrote, I guess it's true what they say about our men. It's hilarious. Another one was like, poor Mrs. King. But, oh God, it's hilarious, the backlash it's getting. But that's how they honor a great man. I mean, it's pathetic. Just virtue signaling and wokeism is just garbage.
Yep.
Hmm.
And like
Oh,
I said,
yeah. Welcome, Derpington. No problem.
hey Derp,
Derp.
Hey, derp.
Yeah, that is trash.
I mean, hey, it's just awful. It's awful. How
But
did
you
they
know
think-
what? I mean, it's a wedding. There's a wedding ring in the picture, though. You know, like
Yeah, back when marriage used to mean something.
right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
MGTOW forever. I saw that earlier. Definitely look like a big black D, and they wonder why they're single moms by Tyrones.
But oh man, if any of you guys get a chance, go on Reddit and Twitter. It's hilarious, hilarious. Even some of the YouTube channels, the comment sections. It's good reading. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna
Yeah.
jump off and.
All right, easy.
But,
Thanks for coming up and chatting.
Hey, nice to see you.
Oh
man.
no problem. Thanks for
Always
having me
a
on.
pleasure.
Yes, I'll send you some challenges during the day if you're ever interested. You can just jump on and play, but I know you're busy. But not
Yeah.
everybody has time like me.
Right.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get
That'll be
that.
good.
But if you ever just want to unwind and just play a game, just shoot me a message.
Oh yeah,
always-
get my ass kicked by the world champion chess player online.
No, I found someone on our channels that's probably 10 times better than anybody we're playing.
Really?
Guy by the
Better
name of way better than me. A guy by the name of Anarchy. He's on Chaos's stream.
Better than you?
Oh, way better.
Jeez.
Way better.
I
I
couldn't
haven't
even
played him
imagine.
yet, but I haven't played him yet, but it should be interesting. But yeah, no.
Well,
But,
let me know when that happens. I want to see it.
Yeah, so does Chris Mitchell in Chaos.
Yeah.
He was like, you got to let me know when that happens. He goes, I got to watch that.
Yeah. All right,
But,
easy.
You guys have a good night. Take care,
Have a
everybody.
good night.
Good chatting with you, Easy.
All right. Well, I think I myself am going to drop off.
Okay, Kush.
All right.
Have a good night and
have a
enjoy
good
the rest of your vacation.
Oh, I'll be streaming again, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Have a good night.
All right.
Have a good one, Kush.
Well, Lord Jeremy, it's up to us to close this out. So you were there with John's stream earlier, right?
Yes, I was.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was a good stream.
Yeah. Did it answer some questions why I might not be why I might be super sensitive to crazy bitchery?
Yeah, getting the history on your mom sure was enlightening, to say the least.
Yeah. And that was very kind of superficial too.
Yeah, sounds like a whole lot of psychotic tendencies there.
Oh, big time. Big time.
And more than a couple of daddy issues, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it kind of boiled down to. You know, the whole dad. I mean, she was spoiled, and then she was spoiled by her dad, actually. And then when the divorce happened, her dad was on the other side of the country. So
Yeah, I'm sure she resented your Mima a little bit.
oh yeah, big time. Not really, Frank. It's all stuff that's in the past that I kind of look at like training, you know. I mean, I can credit my mom for having serious like emotional control and self-control of like my actions. So
Yeah, when you have lots of practice in manipulation, it's pretty easy to control others.
yeah. But just like with anger, like I remember being so angry a lot of times, and not being able to fight back, so to speak.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah. So
I
I
was
don't
a
know.
fairly angry child myself.
Were you?
Yeah. Yeah, didn't have a lot of control over my life and didn't get to do a lot of the things that I wanted to do. I was pretty much all focused on my older sisters. So.
Yeah, we should talk about one of these times, just me and you, about how we could have turned out in these times. Like I would have probably had cut my tits off by now. If I grew up in a middle class fucking family in today's society, my mom definitely would have jumped on the tranny train and totally used me and exploited me for that.
Thankfully, my mom was pretty much the opposite of that, and my dad would not have allowed that sort of thing. But you know, growing up with two older sisters, I certainly played with dolls and had my fingernails painted a few times, and you know, the school probably would have tried to take me away from my parents.
Yeah.
But I never identified as a female, that's for sure.
Derp said he's alienated from his kids for 7 years now.
That's rough, man.
That's rough.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah. Frank.
But then I feel for you, brother.
Yeah. Oh, they're 20 and 23 now. Huh. Yeah, that's something that always kind of stuck. You know, Jordan Peterson would talk about things in code, obviously. But something he always kept hammering on is repair your relationship with your father. He never talked about mothers. It was always, you know, father this, father that. Talking to, you know, people like repair your relationship with your father. I think he kind of knew what was going on with a lot of people.
Yeah, and he's got to dance around the issue with the single mom epidemic. And obviously, it's a huge influence to that, you know, alienates
Yeah.
a lot of kids from their fathers as their mom.
Yep. Yeah.
And you know, moms are good for the formative years, but once you get into being a teenager, you really need your dad. I mean, even
Yeah.
at the expense of your mom. If I had my
Yeah.
way, I would give mothers custody until the kid's 9 years old, and then I'd give the father custody until they're 18. It's half
Yeah.
and half. Neither one owes any child support. One takes care of the diapers and the formula and everything, and the other one takes care of the school activities and lunch and helps formulate them and develop them as a person and productive member of society.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah,
both
that would
know
be a
that's
good
never
idea.
going to happen.
Well, right, because they don't like to split up children. That seems to take priority over the well-being of the children. That's why I'm like, these crazy bitches that have multiple baby daddies, they know what the fuck they're doing. It's that extra little security hook that they put in there. It's like the last thing the state wants to do is separate the children.
And they'd much rather have the woman have custody because they don't usually practice much financial responsibility. So they end up spending all the money that they take from the father, and it stimulates the economy.
Yeah.
It's a big vicious cycle. Plus Title 4D, the percentage of child support that they take from parents, the court systems get a kickback through Social Security.
Fucking
So
Randy.
our taxpayer money finances the judges and the courts and incentivizes them to set child support as high as they can go.
Do you want to come up here, Randy, and tell me how racist I am again?
A racist statement. What
Mhm.
statement was racist?
He thinks all statements that come out of white people's mouths are racist. And then he'll come up in the private chat and tell me how beautiful I am.
Wow.
He's full of shit. He's full of shit.
Is it professional troll or what?
Pretty much. Yeah. He's from the blackosphere.
Oh, that's fine. I got no problem with people of any.
That's all right, JR. He never really wants to contribute anything useful to the conversation. He just gets bored, I think. So.
Yeah. If anybody holds the opinion that every word out of a white person's mouth is racist, then I would say every word out of their mouth is racist. And a turnabout's fair play, right?
Right? Yep. Randy, why don't you go troll Alice? I think she has
There
that
you
grill
go.
polished up nicely. She needs attention right now. Alice, awesome Alice, go over there and troll her. She's not a fan of me, so you guys might get along very well. She's picking on Manletopia at the moment.
Oh, your adopted son?
Yeah. Yep.
And JR, I saw your comment earlier. If you want to come up for Pope and the Bible study, you're sure welcome. I'm sure Pope wouldn't mind. I'm not sure when we're going to
is
do that. I'm not sure when. We gotta talk that out and outline exactly which scripture readings we're going to do. But it'll be King James Version.
He only has 85 subs? That's crazy. Sorry, just warn him. Now that I shared this, he might get some of Alice's attention. Send Alice to Popes. He can handle that bastard factory.
Well, that's all right if you're a Satanist, JR. Satan knows the Bible better than most humans do. And he can quote it to suit his own needs.
Really?
Oh yeah, look at him quoting the scriptures with Jesus when he was in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights.
Would Satan use the Bible to gaslight people? Say there's a chick that has a bunch of bastards running around. Would a Satan possessed woman like that try to say that they're not bastards because they have their heavenly Father?
He would probably say, virtue signal to them that everybody's supposed to support them because, God tells us to support the widows and the orphan children.
But she's never been married. These are all children out of wedlock, therefore bastards.
I'm sure there's some scripture somewhere. I'd put money on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could even use church members against Christ. I mean, I would even argue that he's doing that now with the organized religions.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, look at it. Feminism is not godly.
Oh, right. No, I'm pretty sure it's Antichrist. It's the Antichrist that. Yeah.
And Revelation speaks that even the churches will be corrupted. So, I mean, there's definitely an argument to be made there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have a lot of. I think we have a lot of antichrists running around currently.
Or at least his followers, his minions.
Well, I think the Antichrist is feminism. It's an ideology that goes against the natural order of things.
Yeah, I mean, that would also be communism, Marxism, statism. Federalism, I mean, anything that doesn't put God in the front and center is, especially anything materialistic. Yeah, you're in dangerous waters there. And there's not very many things that are more materialistic than communism or feminism.
Right.
No, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar, and render unto God that which is God's. Hey, MGTOW forever. I like Hawaiian pizza.
Like pineapples on pizza.
Yeah, fruit belongs on pizza. And if you don't think that, you shouldn't use any tomato sauce.
Right. If we're being technical.
Uh-huh.
Well, Lord
I guess-
Jeremy.
Yeah.
I think it's time for me to get off to bed.
All right. Well, the one question that John didn't ask you that I was kind of curious about, if you don't mind, you
Yeah.
don't have to answer.
Go for it.
Why did you get divorced, and who initiated it?
My ex-husband initiated it, and
Okay.
because he found a drinking buddy that put
Oh.
up with his drinking. So
Okay. Fair enough.
yeah,
Yeah. I was just curious.
yeah.
That's not so great, but what do you do,
No,
right?
it's not. Well, you can't. Once they make that decision, there's really nothing you can do, right?
Yeah, I can relate.
Yeah.
Ex-wife
Yeah.
made her own decisions, and I couldn't do anything about them. So, live and let live. So,
Yeah.
well, sorry you went
But,
through that. It's not
Hey,
fun.
it's not as bad as what he just went through with that same person.
Oof.
She actually divorced him, and
Huh.
after many years of having my son tolerate her trans daughter and bullshit and fighting and alcoholic nonsense, she divorced him. So
Karma
karma's a
sure is a
bitch,
bitch.
isn't
Jinx.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it comes around 3 times. So,
Mm.
yeah. Yeah, I haven't checked up on anything my ex-wife is doing. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But all right, well, I'll let you head off to bed, and I'll keep on working.
All right. Well, thanks for chatting, Lord Jeremy, and I look
Absolutely.
forward to your stream. And you're in the Discord now, so
Yeah. Oh, Rusty. Hey, buddy.
hey, Rusty.
He just missed it.
Yep.
All right. Well,
All
I'll
right,
talk
Jeremy.
at you next time.
Okay. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right, Frank. Have a good night. Jerpington. Good night, sir. Forever, MGTOW. Good to see you. Good night, JR. Good night, Peng.
Night, Frankie.
Night, Frank.
All right, I'm dropping out. Have a good one.
All right, you too. See y'all. Oh, wait. I like this one. Good night, y'all.